Guys, sorry about that. You are listening to Lauren Halifax, Harold Kuntz, Pat McGonigal here at Fox 4. We're looking live here at the beginning of the Victory Parade, the first one in 50 years.
These is it.
Chiefs cheerleaders? Is that what's coming down here first?
That's the first one coming down, the Chiefs cheerleaders, followed by some other waivers, and the City Council will be the second or third one, but this is very exciting. We have crews fanned out all across the parade route, and as Lauren mentioned, this is the celebration you have been waiting 50 years for, and we're going to bring it to you live every single step of the way with live locations all along the parade route and at Union Station.
Yeah, they're going down Grand. It's going to be, I think they said about 2 miles. So we saw the players kind of coming in earlier, and here now we see some of them. These are some of the crews now for some of the Chiefs and their organization coming down. They're kind of leading the dance there, but they're trying to get in. There's the double-decker buses that we saw from Columbia, and there it is.
Wow.
There he is.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that trophy.
Holding the Lombardi trophy, waving to the crowd. There is his wife and daughter right next to him. Really cool moment there. And you see the trophy, and everybody gets to say hi to the Lombardi trophy for the first time in 50 years here in Kansas City. Pretty cool.
Wow. Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
John and Abby were talking with Bob Fescoe just a few minutes ago about the incredible end of the season, especially after Patrick Mahomes, the knee injury, the way Matt Moore stepped up, and the way the defense stepped up, and how that changed things.
Yeah, I mentioned the Denver game where, now we get a better picture here. You mentioned the Denver game where Patrick Mahomes, of course, we all got scared with that knee injury he had, but then he walked off the field. It was kind of a signal to his teammates, I'm tough, I'm going to get through this. We got this. And, of course, Matt Moore came in, delivered the win against Denver, then came in, went 1-1 against Minnesota and Green Bay. But that was a turning point, as Bob Fescoe said, when you know, he needed to just heal up. The team needed to heal up, really. It was not just Mahomes, but it was everybody. Chris Jones was injured. A lot more guys were injured. And then for them to come back and then reel off all the wins, they were ready to go there. So now we see the parade really starting to pick up here. The cheerleaders there. And it was really cool to see that Lombardi trophy earlier in the parade there with Clark Hunt holding it up. This means a lot for him, obviously. Clark Hunt, obviously, his family. Lamar Hunt, the original owner of the team. Means a lot for him. They were wearing the old school Chiefs logo blazers when they went down. Him and Andy Reid and all those guys were doing it. So it just meant a lot for them. It meant a lot for them to win the AFC Championship, to get their trophy there, the trophy under his father's name, but then to win the Vince Lombardi trophy is just on a high level. And then you see the confetti there coming out now. And really getting festive out there at Grand.
And rest assured, you will see Clark Hunt and that Lombardi trophy once again. We have cameras all along the parade route. I'm looking down at our stat sheet here. That's the first double-decker bus. It's like 25th in the parade route. So we have, obviously, cameras down in River Market that gave you that first shot. But this is a camera showing you the very beginning of the parade with the cheerleaders in the first car. So you will be seeing a lot of Clark Hunt and that Lombardi trophy as this parade continues throughout the next couple of hours here.
Yeah, you see they're getting ready for more buses. They brought those double-decker buses in, so now they're off, and they're getting ready to go. I mean, they're by the positions, basically. So you see the running backs on one, and then you'll see the linebackers on another one. Obviously, the quarterbacks, and I believe he's going to be with Brett Veach, if I'm not mistaken, coming up soon. So.
The military vehicle that you see there is pulling a trailer, again, with Chiefs cheerleaders, some of the staff. This is the very beginning of the parade. You're going to have war paint. Can you see him? You just barely get a glimpse of the horse just behind. War paint's right behind the trailer there, followed by flag waiters. You're going to see Casey Mo City Council, the mayor, some of the folks from the Jackson County Sports Authority.
There's war paint.
There you go.
They helped put all of this together and organize this. They started working on this several weeks ago, thinking the Chiefs might end up here and we might need this, be ready to go to have a parade on Wednesday as soon as they return.
Yeah, and just such an incredible sight. I mean, people, my own daughter was among the people who got up well before dawn at 4 in the morning.
To get down there and get a spot.
I think I saw, they see war paint. I mean, a lot of people were kind of disappointed it didn't make its way to Miami, but I mean, obviously, it's here. It's happy to be here. But you mentioned, Pat, people being there. I think I saw pictures of people at 10 p.m. getting their spot last night. And awesome. I wonder, I guess they just must have brought their lunch. But I mean, pretty much everything you see is closed down. There's the drum line. So.
All right, well, I think we have reestablished contact with John and Abby and Rob, so let's head back out to their vantage point. Guys?
Get fired up. We had a little power outage out here.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to plug in and get fired up.
I think it was Fescoe's bright red jacket that short-circuited everything as we take a look at war paint right now. a tradition for years with this franchise, the old Benjamin Stables. Went away for a while, but War Paint came back a few years ago, and just in time for a Super Bowl championship.
Yeah,
Huh? How about
Susie
that?
and War Paint just making the Chiefs experience so special. You're not going to find that in other stadiums, to have our mascot horse, Victory Horse, right there in the stadium. So you've got to have a parade with Susie and War Paint there. All right, who are we seeing now? Lots of kiddos in the back of that truck, it
We have
looks
some
like.
kids and staff members, as you mentioned, John, early 2,000 employees went down to Miami to
Yes.
take part in the Super Bowl. Mr. Hunt taking care of everybody. But hey, look at that. Flatbed trucks and confetti on the streets of Kansas City for the world champion Chiefs. How does that sound?
Right.
Sounds so
Oh,
good. In
man,
fact,
it's awesome.
There's Mayor Quinton Lucas, who was in Miami. We saw him.
Congressman Emanuel
Congressman Cleaver
Yeah,
is
right
there
there.
as well. And
Do I see Sharice Davids there as well? Yes, Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas is in the truck with them as well.
Sporting the Mahomes lid and the jersey. Good stuff there.
All right, and apparently confetti cannons. So for all of you who wanted a piece of confetti from the Super Bowl, this could be your chance to get parade confetti.
that there
right
is
here.
the Jackson County Legislature. Teresa Galvin, the chairwoman of the legislature, and they are obviously thrilled to be a part of a parade finally. And I believe the Sports Authority is also on a float. The Jackson County Sports Authority, charged with keeping tabs on the sports complex. The City Council is involved as well. There's the authority, led by the chairwoman, or chairman, I should say, Kevin Childress. Duron Cherry, former chief, is on the Sports Authority, and he's another one of the names. Rob, we talked about chiefs of the past. Duron Cherry, with quite a legacy with this team, stayed in town, is very much a part of the community, many charities, so on and so forth. He and his wife Hope very much involved, and there's county executive and former Royal.
He knows a little bit
Yeah, he
about
does.
a parade. Yeah,
That's right.
he was here a couple years ago when the
85.
Royals were rolling down the road as well.
Yeah.
Homegrown, part of the Royals Academy, and came up through the Royals system back when they had the academy. And I think it was 8 Gold Gloves, 5 All-Star games. He was quite a player, and then now county executive.
So we are once again looking at the double-deckers beginning. This is towards the beginning of the parade route, down in the River Market area where the parade was just getting started. And we see here some of the players hanging out on the double-decker buses.
There's
having
Eric
a beverage or
Fisher.
two. There
Eric
you
Fisher,
go.
remember when he went in the end zone and grabbed the 2 beers and did the Stone
Yes,
Cold Steve
yes,
Austin thing?
that's
And then he got
right.
fined, and then Budweiser paid for it. So Big Fish can do all he wants today, right there. Look,
And there's the man.
there's Patrick Mahomes right
There
next
he
to Anthony
is.
Sherman.
Nice.
Just getting started down in the River Market, and they will make their way south toward Union Station for the big rally.
Oh, and the fans are going to go just
Yeah.
insane when they see the guys on that bus right there. Chiefs cheerleaders also making their way down the parade route. They're just getting started. It's going to take them a little while to get down here to Union Station, but it's so exciting to see the parade coming down, the moment we have been waiting for so many years. Oh, and more red confetti
Yes.
being shot around down Grand Street.
What a scene.
Yeah.
What a sight.
It's beautiful. And look at all the people. You guys, it is wind chills in the teens, off and on snow. Chiefs Kingdom doesn't care. They are out. Nothing was going to keep them from this parade. Getting close here, getting close to Weston Crown Center. It's going to take them a little bit.
Now remember, some of these buses that you see here have staff members of the Chiefs. You may not recognize them. We mentioned earlier the behind-the-scenes folks who keep the business side of the operation going, the football staff behind the scenes who do so much to support the coaching staff, the players. They're all here. Rob, you mentioned, as we discussed earlier, they were flown down by the Hunt family to take in the Super Bowl, the time in Miami as well.
We're seeing some of the sports equipment guys. I talked to Alan Wright earlier. he said, man, Rob, I've been waiting 37 years
Wow.
for this moment. And all the guys in the locker room had the Lombardi Trophy. They had a placard there. Everyone stood in front of it. Everybody was taking pictures with the Lombardi Trophy.
For sure.
Big smiles on their face. All the folks were just having a great time in the locker room. And I have to admit, I really wanted to jump in there and take a picture with them, but I didn't think that was very professional. So I asked Alan, I said, can I just touch it? He goes, yeah, you can touch it. So he let me touch the football and the Lombardi Trophy. So,
what?
hey, there you go. I got to touch the Lombardi Trophy.
Did you ever wash your hands again?
That's the closest I'm ever going to get. So the good stuff. But yeah, well deserved for these guys. And you mentioned a lot of folks behind the scenes, just like we have here working on this show, don't get a lot of the publicity, but they are living it up in this moment. Downtown Kansas City, Parade of Champions.
And again, that's the beginning of the route there, coming across the bridge into the main part of downtown, the canyon, where it's lined with thousands of Chiefs fans who are braving this winter football-like weather to take in this historic.
And they're playing. It's getting hot in here right behind us.
Got subliminal messaging from Nelly playing right behind us, that's for sure.
It's all good.
Yep. I don't think we need any help staying warm today. This is, it looks like some cheerleaders there, and we've also got the rumble. The drummers are a part of the parade. There's
War Paint. How about that? You know, I asked Susie, how do you choose the horse that's going to be War Paint? And she said you really have to choose very carefully because this has to be a horse that can never get spooked.
Sure.
They're around people all the time, loud noises all the time. So you have to find the most mild-mannered, well-trained horse that you can. They have two War Paints. They have one that's pretty young and one that's a little bit older. The one that's a little bit older obviously has a little more experience, a little more stable. So two War Paints to choose from. So if you're thinking, hey, that's not the War Paint I usually see, well, that's very possible that is the case. But, you know, it just kind of depends on how the horse is that day and how they're feeling and what the conditions could be.
Did they draw straws to see which one of them got to be in the parade?
You know, that's a great question.
Saw a great sign there. It said Lamar is smiling down when they was panning the crowd.
Wow.
And I got the chance to talk to Norma after the game, and she was so happy, not only for the Chiefs, but she was so happy because she knew Lamar was looking down. She knew Mr. Hunt would be loving this moment, and she was just so happy at how big everything has come, his dream, his vision, and where it is today. And 50 years later, the Chiefs have once again the Lombardi Trophy in their possession.
There are some of the county officials, the city council, the mayor, Congressman Cleaver, Congresswoman Sharice David, some of the politicians out front, and the Lombardi Trophy, Coach Reed, Patrick Mahomes, all will be the main part of the parade coming up here in just a few moments. And you mentioned Lamar Hunt. Other Hunt members of the family are here. There's obviously Clark and Tavia. They're kind of the face of the organization, but some of the other Hunt children, Lamar Hunt Jr. Is here with his wife. He's the Mavericks, the hockey owner,
right?
But he's also part owner of the Chiefs. The team was, in Lamar Hunt's passing, divided equally among the kids. Again, Clark is kind of the face of the organization, but the other Hunt children are here as well. Sharon Hunt, daughter from Lamar Hunt's first marriage, part owner. It's just wonderful to see them be a part of this. You don't hear from them or see them as much. Dan Hunt as well. He's the VP of the Hunt Sports, I guess, businesses, the sports businesses. They own other sports franchises as well. He's here from Dallas. Lamar Hunt Jr. lives in the Kansas City area with his wife Rita. So it's great to see all of the Hunt kids.
This confetti here reminiscent of what we saw on the field in Miami.
I can't tell if that's smoke or confetti, but
a little of both.
Looks like a little of both.
Chiefs definitely bringing the smoke back to Kansas City here after winning that big game.
What was interesting at Hard Rock, they were ready with either team's confetti.
They were.
So, and you wonder if at some point, we talked about this post-game, if at some point they had the 49ers confetti all loaded up and ready to go, and somebody said, don't pull the trigger yet,
right,
as the Chiefs scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to come from behind and capture the Lombardi.
And it was amazing. I went back and watched the fourth quarter because John and I, we didn't get to see it.
Right.
Because
we were I was in the tunnel.
Yeah. I'll give you a little inside baseball here. We had to walk down through the tunnel, probably, I don't know, quarter of a mile or so. And so going back and watching what they did in 6 minutes to score 21 points was unbelievable.
I was standing
So
next to
cool.
a crew from the San Francisco area.
Yeah. Oh.
They did not like what
Yeah, I
they saw
can't
from
imagine.
our Chiefs in the fourth quarter. So
Coach
I
Andy
didn't rub
Reid.
it in. There he is.
In that
Big
first
red.
double-decker, and as we mentioned earlier, the winningest active coach without a ring, no more. He has his ring. He's there with his trophy wife.
Yeah, I see you,
Yes,
Tammy,
there
behind
she
him.
is.
Tammy there with
That's
him.
such a great
Well,
line.
you know, and we talk so much about the players and the difference they make on the field, but these players, many of them came with a promise to play for Andy Reid.
Yep.
And I think that that is something we have to remember in all of this. These players wanted to win the Super Bowl in part for Andy Reid and for the kind of coach that he is. Many of them respect this man, wanted to play for him, and of course wanted to be part of the Chiefs franchise and the Hunt family franchise that has created this wonderful legacy in our city.
And we see the Hunt family there on the left, Clark and Tavia there, along with the kids coach on the right. And Clark Hunt said this during the preseason. You guys remember, before we went to training camp, he got the team together and he said, the goal this year is to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's
that
a lofty goal.
It's a lofty goal.
And
but
some people
being
said
so
it could
close
never
last
be
year-
done. But yeah, so close last year, and it was a heartbreaker. Man, it was sweet success.
It
this
wasn't
year.
good enough for this team to get there. You sensed that in
Yes.
the locker room, Rob. You saw it.
Sure.
The things they were saying. They wanted to win this thing. They got close last year to getting there. Close enough that I think they were beyond that. It was time to get there and win.
Yeah.
And an amazing comeback fashion, just as they had in the divisional round against the Texans. And
Hey,
then
there's
the
our
title
buddy.
game.
Bobby Bell,
Bobby
right
Bell.
there.
How about that?
He finally gets to
Finally
ride in the
gets to
parade.
ride there. And, of course, our other buddy, the Lombardi Trophy.
Ah, everybody's favorite guest today.
That's the Lombardi Trophy today.
There you go.
You know, we talked about Bobby Bell, talking to him at the airport before we flew out. He did not get to be a part of the parade in '69. As we mentioned, most of the team had to go play in the All-Star game the next week in Houston. Only Len Dawson was in that parade, as he recalled. And so many of them are taking part today, or experiencing a parade finally, 50 years later. How wonderful for them.
The parade keeps rolling down the street, getting ever closer here to Union Station where the rally will take place. We'll hear from Coach Reid. We'll hear from some of the players. And look, guys, some of the players are actually just walking out on the street instead of being in that double-decker bus. We're trying to figure out who some of those guys are. They got their hoods on, and they have, looks like Frank Clark right there in the white right there potentially. I don't know. They're wearing their ski mask, because I'm guessing we may have a little bit of champagne flowing here and there.
There you go.
know, it looks like Terrell Suggs. It's kind of hard to spot
How about
those
that?
on the monitor here, but yeah, empty
the
bus.
bus is
They got
empty.
off, man. They want to be with the
That
people.
is awesome.
They're getting out to be with the people. It's
Man.
unbelievable.
That's if that's bus 27, that would be the linebackers.
Okay.
So linebackers want no part of being on a bus.
All right.
They're down amongst
So that's
the people. Yep.
Anthony Hitchens and Ragland and that crew.
Yeah.
So good stuff there.
That is great.
There's Spags. Steve Spagnuolo brought in basically to beat the Patriots and to win the Super Bowl, because he did it with the Giants against the Patriots. So Steve Spags brought in here, changed everything around, got Tyrann Mathieu on board, got Frank Clark on board, got Chris Jones on board, changed the dynamic of that defense. They also changed the mentality. That's the
Right.
biggest thing he wanted to do. Change the mentality, go out there and hit people, and that's what they did.
He did, and the other, you recall earlier in the season, there were Bob Sutton fired defensive coordinator. Things did not come together right away, and Spags said that at the beginning. He said, you know, it's a new system. We're being patient. It will come together. And Frank Clark struggled early, was hurt, and it did. It finally came together. The players got it. They understood their roles. And even when Juan Thornhill went down, Spags had to adjust again and find ways to mix it up and get Tyrann Mathieu more involved in the pass rush even, and stopping the run, and just letting these guys flow with the action. Came up with different schemes to move them up closer to the line, all sorts of different ways, and it did. They got it. They finally will tell you it felt good.
And Tyrann
It
Mathieu,
came
the
together.
most important piece of that, and we've talked about this before, because he can play multiple positions in multiple sets. So he was like the queen on the chessboard for Steve Spagnuolo. He could go anywhere, any direction. So great for him and great for Coach Bieniemy to finally get that Super Bowl win. And Coach Bieniemy will be a head coach in this league at some point.
Right.
But he's living this moment up. And, you know, maybe a blessing in disguise, if you can think about it, because when he gets a head coaching job, I want it to be a place where he can thrive, not to a place where everything's out of whack, and then he'll get maybe a bad rap if things don't go well, maybe year 1, year 2, because let's face it now, a lot of GMs don't have a lot of time. A lot of people in charge don't want to give somebody 3 to 5 years to work on a new team. So hopefully he will go to a place that will let him thrive at and that will let him be great. Speaking of great,
we've got one of the
here.
greats. We've
What's
got
going
Trent
on?
Green joining us for
Come
the
on in.
Below
Yeah.
Parade
How are you?
chat.
I'm doing great. What? How about this? It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as a player, this is what you strive for. This is what you continually wanted to do was to win a Super Bowl, be a part of a Super Bowl victory parade. I had an opportunity in St. Louis in '99. That was a cool event, but man, this city, this is unbelievable. And
we're looking at Mahomes and Kelsey. Mahomes has the glasses on, his phone out. Kelsey's got the championship belt.
I was going to say, do you think those are Oakleys?
Yeah, probably so.
Do you think he gave everybody on the team Oakley goggles to wear for this? So
Probably
Probably a
did.
smart move.
it is. It
Trent,
is.
we were talking earlier about the players of the past who did
Yes.
not get this opportunity, yourself included here in Kansas City, and there were opportunities that just didn't pan out. And I've been impressed with how much this has meant to all of you as past players and ambassadors of this franchise, how happy you are for them and for the city, for the Hunt family. It's just amazing.
You know, we when I got traded here in 2001, we fell in love with the city. We've raised our kids here. This is my daughter, Janelle. My boys both grew up here and went to high school here, and we just love the city. And so not only the fact that what it means to the city, but what it means to the Hunt family, what it means to the organization. We were able to take part in the Royals parade and be involved in that and be around that. And we just saw the response of the city to that. And so now for this to happen for the Kansas City Chiefs, I thought the coolest moment of the AFC Championship game, and then, of course, the Super Bowl as well, was just seeing Norma Hunt on stage and hearing her acceptance, hearing her words after the AFC Championship game, receiving the Lamar Hunt Trophy, and then ultimately, being able to be on the podium to win the Super Bowl. What a great moment for her and her family.
Absolutely.
As a football guy, we were talking earlier about Brett Veach and the role he played in putting the pieces together to make this day possible.
It's pretty incredible when you consider what Andy Reid, John Dorsey, Brett Veach, what they did when they came in here, where the organization was, where the team was at that point, where the roster was at that point, and what they were able to do. And give Brett Veach a lot of credit when you consider the last couple of years, the way he's flipped the roster over, the depth that he's added. So much was made of the superstars, and rightfully so. But think about the guys that were injured early on in the season. Agba and Okafor, those were two guys that were supposed to be an important part of the defense. They got injured early on, and you just keep plugging pieces in and moving pieces in. So, and then even with Juan Thornhill going down in the last game of the season, Daniel Sorensen's been here for a number of years. But his opportunity to step up and make some huge plays, especially in the playoffs, it's pretty spectacular, just the depth that Brett Veach has been able to put together and what Andy's been able to do with all these weapons.
Now, Trent, do you think, you've studied football for a lot of years since you have been a football player and someone that people have sought out for a lot of your expert opinion. Do you think this is the beginning of a dynasty?
It potentially can be, yes. It potentially can be. And I say potentially because in today's era of football, it is so hard to keep everybody together. Because of the salary cap restrictions, everybody can't be paid the highest at their position. There has to be some give and take. Sure. And I think that's going to be the important part is the stars that are about to come up, and Patrick Mahomes being the main one, where does that fall in terms of salary? Where does that fall in terms of cap space and making everything work? With Chris Jones. Chris Jones is another one. He was on the franchise tag this past year. He made it known after the game that he wants to stay in Kansas City and be a part of it. Patrick was very good with his answer after the game about wanting to work with the team and get something done because he wants to be here long term. So that's very encouraging to hear both those guys because those are the stars on both sides of the football. But to answer your question directly, yes, the pieces are there. for it to build into a dynasty right here in KC.
We've seen that guy who plays in New England take less money just to get some more weapons around him. And people are throwing out numbers for Patrick Mahomes: $40 million a year, $200 million total, 100 guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, those are astronomical numbers.
That's like Monopoly money. That's
I can't even fathom.
That's not like, no, that's so just in the amount of time the salary cap has increased. I mean, it's been over $100 million. This is my 11th year out of the NFL. It's hard to believe it's already 11 years, but in that amount of time, the salary cap has increased by more than $100 million for the entire team. Salaries for quarterbacks and other positions have skyrocketed, and it's great for the players to be in. But as you said, you know, you look at what Tom Brady did, and he's had some opportunities off the field to make some money. And just like Patrick Mahomes, you see a lot of local and national ads that he's been doing. There has to be that balance there. And I can't answer that for him. Only he can answer that, what that can be. And being able to position yourself long-term wise financially is an important aspect of playing, but you also know from a salary cap structure you can help influence other positions as well.
Well, after winning the MVP in the show he put on in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes will, in my opinion, be the face of the NFL moving forward.
Oh, he definitely can be. And you know, I know Lamar Jackson won the MVP this year, but I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind after the 3 playoff games that Patrick Mahomes had, and last year winning the MVP with 50 touchdowns, he is the best player in the NFL right now.
He'd rather have
at
this
24 years old.
At 24, right?
He'd rather have this trophy than the regular season MVP, right?
I mean, yeah.
And here's the thing, Trent, and having been on the front lines yourself as a quarterback, as a leader, this team embraces him. He's 24. He's getting all of the national publicity. He's the face of the NFL now, and yet this team loves him. They rally around him. I don't sense any jealousies or any issues in the locker room about that. And there is the trophy. Getting a nice walk
Wow,
down.
that's getting real close.
So that's a pretty impressive thing for a team to come together like that.
Well, it is. And if you go back to his first year, his rookie year, with Alex Smith as the quarterback, and Alex Smith led the NFL in quarterback rating. He's the #1 rated quarterback in the league. And everybody talked about how impressive Patrick Mahomes was in that year. He stepped back, realized he was the #1 pick, realized it was Alex Smith's team, but he also understood the way the locker room worked. And I give a lot of credit to his parents and his dad especially, growing up in that atmosphere of the baseball world, understanding a locker room and how a team works and the leadership that goes into it. It was tremendous how he handled that rookie year. And then now you move forward, how he gets the players involved, how all of them have Oakley eyewear, how all of them have the right earphones to listen to, whatever endorsements he has. He's taking care of the guys.
And the role of Alex Smith to embrace and take Patrick Mahomes, knowing this young guy was going to take his place. Talk about that. Give your thoughts on that.
I can't say enough good things about Alex Smith. After what he went through in San Francisco, went through a similar circumstance there with Colin Kaepernick coming in there, and then ultimately Kansas City was fortunate to get Alex here because he came in when the organization was really in trouble. Brought them leadership. He and Andy Reid and John Dorsey and Brett Veach, the acquisition and the move to bring Alex Smith in to be that solidification of the locker room and that leadership that was needed. And then, of course, just the type of player he was, the type of person that he is, and how that's kind of transcended the whole locker room. And I thought Patrick said it perfectly in the last week here, talking about Alex Smith and how much that he meant to him and the development of this whole team.
As we watch some of the players go and interact with the fans, taking pictures, it's a great thing. I love it that the guys jumped off the double-decker bus just to be in the mix with all the fans. The Super Bowl trophy is
security
down.
Love that.
Oh,
they love that.
definitely.
They love it when they get the Super Bowl trophy within feet of everybody.
They love when they go off
grabbing it,
script,
taking it
right?
off. Or when you do the dive into the crowd as a player.
These are definitely audibles being
right.
called right now. Speaking of audibles, from your perspective, take us through Patrick Mahomes, his skill set. He's doing things on the field that some people said won't parlay from the college game to the pro game, and he's doing things that we've never seen before with arm angles, arm slots, throwing off his back. I mean, it's just unbelievable that we can watch, but you can appreciate even more because you know how hard that is.
Well, I have a great appreciation for it because, and I tell both my boys play football in college, and I talk to a lot of young quarterbacks, and I say, don't try and emulate Patrick. That is something that he is literally
up for failure.
Oh, he's done hundreds of thousands of reps doing that, and I tie it to the baseball. I know a lot of people have talked about baseball, but the different throwing angles and the way he comes up with different ideas of delivering the football. A lot of that ties to that background in baseball. And as a quarterback, you have your fundamentals, the way your footwork's supposed to be, the way your shoulder level, your playing, your stance arrow, your direction, your lead, all those things that go into the fundamentals of playing the position. But because of Patrick's background, it allows him the ability to improvise, and that's what he does so well.
I think we're looking at Sack Nation there.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
looks
bus
like
that has the defensive line on it, and it looks like Sack Nation.
It looks
is,
like Frank and Chris
yeah.
out there are having a good
man.
time.
It looks like they've all decided, you know what, we're done with the bus.
Yeah.
And are they line dancing through the streets? Is
Well,
this what I'm seeing?
It sounds like it. I don't know if they can hear Garth Brooks behind us or not.
I think
can't
they
tell where
decided
are.
the bus is moving so slow. We're
too
going to get
cold.
out. We're going to get out and walk faster than the bus.
Totally warmer. Yes.
Keeping
Or I
themselves
should
warm.
say, dance faster than
Yeah,
the bus.
there you go.
Definitely. Well, Trent Green, thank you so much
Yes.
for joining
Yeah,
us
yeah.
this morning.
Appreciate
And
that,
Janelle, thank you for joining us as well. And allowing us
We didn't
to
get a
take your
chance to
dad
get
a
your
little bit.
insight
Yes.
yet. So, what do you think about the parade?
I'm so excited. Go Chiefs!
There you go.
Well done. Well done.
There you go.
All right, thanks, guys. Have
Thank
fun.
you
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate
Have a
it.
great
Thanks,
time.
guys. Have fun.
Stay
Thank you.
warm. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Enjoy.
Yeah, their players are definitely enjoying it right now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I love it.
I mean, look at all these guys, many of them in their 20s, and they've just reached a huge pinnacle in their career that many players will never live to see. And here they are, soaking it all in. And you've got to appreciate their joy and just this unfiltered happiness.
There's the Honey Badger.
There he is.
Tyrann Mathieu is waving to the crowd. He's another guy that's out on the street taking it in. And you can't blame these guys.
No.
They're so woven into the community.
Oh.
So why not get out here with their friends, family, fans, get out on the streets and live it up? Because as we talk about all the time in this league, you never know.
No,
You just
never
don't.
know.
And
This is
didn't
your
get a
moment.
chance to ask Trent Green about that, but there are just so many examples. Aaron Rodgers won one, never went back or hasn't gone back. Came close this year, but San Francisco ran him out of the stadium out there in Santa Clara. It literally ran them out, Rob. 220 yards, 4 TDs for a running back that gained under 100 yards.
Yeah,
against the
Mostert
Chiefs.
had-
Raheem Mostert, and just amazing how the Chiefs stopped the run when the team had to. We saw that against the Titans. We saw that in the Super Bowl. And again, there are the players off the buses, staying much warmer, I'm guessing, getting close to their fan base.
I don't think they're feeling any
I don't think
cold
they
at
are.
all, man.
Nope.
No.
The adrenaline's flowing. They're living life, man. Living their best life right now. Piggyback rides
Yep.
and everything. This is great.
During the season, this kind of horseplay would not be allowed.
No,
For fear of
Brett Beach,
injury.
no basketball.
No.
Do not jump on people's
No
backs.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
No,
No horseplay, guys. But hey, you just won the Super Bowl. It's all on you. You do you.
Yeah. Hey, I want to bring in our guys back at the station to get a little perspective of what they're seeing. We're out here living it up. Guys, you're seeing all the camera angles back there at the station. How's this parade look from your vantage point?
I got to tell you, it's really amazing how everybody's sharing the trophy. Everybody's passing it around. Everybody gets to touch it. They've taken it down into the crowd, right up to the fans. I mean, everybody feels like they're a part of this. They were truly celebrating this with all the fans as a part of the family, the Chiefs Kingdom, all in it together.
A couple things I noticed. You guys might have missed it, but Patrick Mahomes was out there chugging beers. He was down.
I
in them.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Travis Kelce, he was enjoying it. His girlfriend Brittany was back there. Travis had his girlfriend there. They were enjoying it. And then, like you guys have said, I mean, these guys got a little claustrophobic with those double-decker buses. They want to get out there. They want to interact with the crowd. They want to get out. I know security's probably like, oh, gosh, but they want to get out there and interact with that crowd. They want to share that Vince Lombardi trophy with the rest of the Chiefs Kingdom there. And now we're seeing a picture of Andy Reid again doing the Arrowhead Chop. I mean, it's just a festive atmosphere out there, Clark Hunt with the family. Andy Reid's wife back there. They're just having a great time. I mean, maybe not as good as Patrick Mahomes chugging the beer, but they're having a great time. And I don't know if that's keeping them warm either. I don't know. You guys have a better pulse of it outside, exactly how cold it is. But those guys running down, they look like they're just having the time of their lives. I think I saw McCole Howard out there. And also I saw Frank Clark with great respect to Derek Thomas. He had the Derek Thomas jersey on. He knows to respect his Chiefs legends out there. So it's just been a cool experience.
Okay, the two faces
Yeah,
we have.
I'm not sure if it was on purpose. No, go ahead.
Have you guys seen Spags and Eric Bieniemy? Those are the other two that really I want to see today have their little moment in the sun with fans because they're such a key part of the organization.
Yeah.
We got a quick shot of both of them on the buses because we're watching from a monitor here because we can't see them in eyesight yet as they make their way down. But Harold, going back to your point of Patrick Mahomes having a beverage, I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was an intentional troll job, but he was drinking from the cans where the mountains are blue, and you know where that beer's made. That's the good
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
right there.
Okay.
I like
And-
that.
and for the record, we are not enjoying that blue can up here.
Okay.
It's just hot coffee
Very
and
hot
giddiness
coffee.
over
Okay.
50 years.
And I would
waiting
like
for
to
this
point
moment.
something else out. We are starting to get little wafts of confetti
Perfect.
up at our vantage point, which means
They're getting closer.
we're getting very close
I
to
have
the
a
first
small
vehicles
trash can
arriving.
bag full of confetti from the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I only got like a little
It's on
baggie,
eBay
a
right
little
now
tiny-
for $12,000.
I was
if you
going to
want
say, I believe it. I believe it.
I'm
With another
kidding.
request
It is
I
not
got.
on there. We're
You're
going to
not really
buy what
kidding.
we did with the Royals Parade. I got to brag on my wife for a minute. After the Royals Parade, she grabbed up a lot of confetti. We bought some clear Christmas ornaments,
There
put
you go.
Royals World Series stickers on
Oh.
them, put the confetti inside,
That's a
and make
great
Christmas
idea.
ornaments. We're going to do the same thing with the Chiefs. And all my friends in the cul-de-sac, if you're watching, I'm going to spoil it. You're getting one of those in a couple weeks.
Oh, that's
Hey,
so
they're
cool.
showing
What
Mahomes
a great
again,
idea.
and he's got yet another beer in hand too.
There he is.
With Sherman.
Yeah, why not, man?
Now
Yeah.
Sherman's got the beer too. They've got those Chiefs custom Bud Lights, I believe. So they're drinking. I think he's challenging the crowd. He wants to chug another beer here. I think they want to see him chug another beer.
Yeah.
He might.
I cannot wait
Who knows what
until-
the speech is going to be like? He might be 4 or 5 in by the time he
That's
gets up
what we're
there.
waiting on.
He's going to slur words.
We're waiting on Frank Clark. We're waiting on Chris Jones to take that mic, baby. That's
It
going to be
could.
some
By
good
the
Things
stuff.
could
way,
get interesting.
By the way, in a nod to our friends on the east side of the state, St. Louis, home to that blue can, they have embraced this team much as Kansas City embraced the Blues
Yeah.
when they won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
With no franchise there in St. Louis, we know that many St. Louis fans have made their way here. We saw some and talked to some in Miami. They have the broadcast over there now, the Chiefs Radio Network. St. Louis is a part of the Chiefs Kingdom,
Yep.
and I love it because really two towns that are the engine of Missouri now are on the same page when it comes to
And
franchises.
get this. 2 cities in the state of Missouri have 2 world titles
Yes, exactly.
simultaneously. How
Gotta
about that?
love that.
How about
it's
that?
It's the winning state, and we will be right back. We're going to take a short break.
We've only waited 50 years for this moment. We're glad you're with us all throughout the Chiefs Kingdom, Kansas, Missouri, and points beyond. Welcome back to our live coverage as you look at the Chiefs cheerleaders and rumble. And we're rumbling up here as we look at the stage area.
Wow.
It's the
Wow.
2019 season world champion Kansas City Chiefs Parade of Champions.
There you go. Rumble right under us. So it's about to get rumbling here big time when
Oh,
those
yeah.
players start coming down the street.
This is so exciting, and you can hear the crowd now really starting to rev up because these are the first vehicles they have seen here close to Union Station, which of course is the final destination for all of these people. And you are going to see some of these Chiefs players, the coaches, take the stage, and that is when the crowd is really going to go wild. And that rally is at 1:30. So we have a little bit of time for those vehicles to make their way through the parade route, through downtown Kansas City. So cool to see. I'm just taking it in a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Not to turn my head away from the camera for too long, but
we're experiencing it well with the people. That's what we're out here to do.
It's a very, very cool scene, you
So
guys.
basically what's happened here is that the parade has turned off. Grand is on Pershing. This is the beginning of the parade, I should say. You see the politicians at the beginning of the parade, the legislature, the city council, Mayor Quentin Lucas, and some other distinguished guests, and they are turning toward Union Station. The team is still probably 20 minutes or so behind. Most of the players have hopped out of the buses. It'll be interesting to see if they are indeed still doing that when they get down here. But yes, the rally itself, when we get that team on stage, it will be fun to see what the players have to say. Stone Cold Jones, Travis Kelce, Coach Reed no doubt will speak, and hopefully we will hear from QB1, our friend, the MVP of the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes.
You know, I remember 5 years ago when the Royals won the World Series and the big parade, and you know, as is human nature, we're never settled with just one World Championship.
Right.
So
Right.
instantly people started talking about the day the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl. And 5 years ago, we weren't sure we were going to see that
No.
anytime soon. And the organization took such a turn
Is this good here?
almost directly
Sorry.
after that.
Hey, John
and
Hunt.
now we see world champions. This has been a very exciting several years for any Kansas City sports fans. And who do we have joining us here?
We've got another chief ambassador.
That's right.
Eddie Kennison is with us here on the I don't know, the not balcony, but the terrace here. And Eddie, with a family affair for you as well. Who's that young lad?
So this is Griffin, our 6-year-old son. We flew in from Dallas on last night to be part of the parade. We were in Miami for the obviously the big game, and we would not miss this for anything in the world. We're glad that our 6-year-old son he
That's
can
awesome.
enjoy this. We can enjoy it. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into this organization, brother. So it's bittersweet to be here, man. And I'm happy to be here.
You know, it's
Yeah.
interesting that you say that because we're talking about the past players who did not have this opportunity. It's so exciting to see all of you embrace this young team and what it's done, and really the legacy of the Chiefs franchise.
Sure, and you know that's part of, even before me, John, all of the guys that paved the way, you know, for us to play in the National Football League, and especially here in Kansas City. There's so many stepping stones that has happened to get the organization to this point. Mr. Lamar Hunt, obviously, you know, the founder of the AFC. You know, we have to give him credit. With the Hunt Trophy, the AFC, you know, trophy named after him. There's so many beautiful things leading up to this moment right now, and I couldn't be more proud of what Andy Reid has done and what the Chiefs organization has done to get us to this point.
And we've heard that sentiment from a lot of the Chiefs ambassadors and former players. They're living vicariously through these guys because, you know, unfortunately, most of them never got a chance to feel this moment.
Right, and gosh, I mean, if you guys saw my Facebook page when we actually won the game, I mean, I was so ecstatic. Like my 6-year-old son here.
Yeah,
it's
he's
just,
everybody. Everybody's like this today, all fired up, full of energy, ready to rock and roll.
And it's fun to be a part of it and to be here witnessing, you know, this event, this parade. I mean, gosh, I mean, where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Well, and I think it's interesting. You guys don't live here anymore, but you certainly have still a presence here in Kansas City. Why is this sort of a second home for you and your family?
I mean, I just think about, I came over to say hello to Trent right next to you guys' booth here, and I was handed a headset and said, hey, you're going to be on television. I mean, it just feels like true family here in Kansas City. And you guys obviously have always covered the Chiefs. You guys have always been like family. not only to me, but the entire Chiefs organization, my teammates. You guys have always been there. And let's talk about Chiefs Kingdom. Just the fans and the people that live here in the Kansas City community. I mean, they're just wonderful, wonderful human beings. Whenever I went to places, restaurants, they were always so generous, so nice, and very respectful of time and space. And it's just like family. They come to you and say hello, and it's just been beautiful.
We talked to Joe Buck and we talked to Tony Gonzalez at the Super Bowl a couple days leading up to it about how it means more to smaller market teams to win championships, because everybody talks about the coast all the time, but those guys kind of related stories, Joe being from St. Louis, small town, obviously Tony playing here, just saying it means more because the players, as you mentioned, are woven into the community.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, when it takes, you know, a community to build a community. And Kansas City is absolutely that. We have the Royals here, obviously the Chiefs, and, you know, we're engulfed in what's going on with our professional teams. And my 6-year-old, he's so ecstatic
showing
right now.
You show your dance moves, Griffin? You want to show us?
Yeah, and so it's built in the community. I mean, when you first come here as I'm going to say a professional athlete, whether it's Chiefs or Royals, you're engulfed in the community immediately because you feel the presence of love immediately when you come into Kansas City.
Eddie, you did not experience this kind of a parade during your playing time here. What are your best memories, greatest memories of putting on that uniform and getting out there in front of that crowd and the Chiefs Kingdom and playing for Kansas City?
A couple things, John. You know, one, when I first came into Kansas City in 2001, I was greeted by Lamar Hunt with a handshake, a hug, welcomed me into Kansas City and being a part of the Chiefs family, and just getting out into the community with the Chiefs Kingdom, with the fans that are here, and with my brothers that I had in the locker room. As you see, I saw Trent standing over here, and I immediately ran over to him, you know, to give him a big hug and embrace him, and, you know, so we can all feel what's going on. And I've been in contact with my former teammates when we played here, you know, just congratulating those guys on the victory that we're sharing here.
Dudes are Tyreek Hill, no shirt on. Is that D-Mark?
Oh my!
Oh boy!
They're gonna. Hopefully, those guys don't catch a cold tonight.
Well, we've got plenty of off season for them to recover.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. This
That's
is
right.
the time if you're
Sure.
gonna do anything crazy. This
Yeah,
is your
good stuff.
time.
Eddie, we appreciate you coming by. I know you just came to decide to say Trenton. We put a microphone on you and a headset, but we appreciate you stopping by with your insight. Great stuff. We want you to go enjoy this with Chiefs Kingdom, brother.
Well, and I definitely appreciate it. And thank you guys for allowing me to come on.
And Eddie, one
Absolutely.
final question: what fine bottle of wine will you open to celebrate this? Eddie, of course, is a purveyor of fine wines.
Yes.
Spends a lot of time in California. Has a wine club here in Kansas City. What's the bottle you're going to open to celebrate and savor this moment?
Believe it or not, probably later on this evening, I will open a Jean-Louis Vermille, one of Coach Vermille's top Cabernets.
Oh, nice.
I will have one of those this evening. I talked to Coach Vermille on yesterday. I have one of those Jean-Louis Vermille cabs in my cellar.
Excellent.
And I will have one of those.
We will be there. What time
Yeah,
are you opening?
when and where, my friend? When and where?
7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Does this mean I have to be the designated driver for you two again?
Yes, it does.
Our
We
mom
planned
to
it that
be.
way.
Our mom to be. Eddie Griffin,
All right,
thanks
sir.
for coming
Eddie,
by.
thank you,
buddy.
Griffin.
Love you, man.
Fist bumps, Griffin.
Fist bump,
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, what do you want? Come here. Turn around here. You got to look at that camera, okay, buddy? All right. I'm going to ask you a question. How do you like the parade?
There you go.
Can you give me how about them Chiefs? Can you say that?
How about them Chiefs?
Yes.
Attaboy. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, Griffin.
Thanks. Booyah. All right.
He's warming us up
Yeah.
here in the booth.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Eddie
Appreciate
Kennison.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank
Great,
you so
great
much.
stuff.
And we are continuing our live coverage as here come, we think that those are, we've got a lot of the staff in the buses and we're waiting on the Chief players to arrive in front of this huge crowd here at Union Station. Shades of a parade in 15 with a different shade of color.
Yeah.
Blue becomes red. And yes, here comes some of the confetti. So
There's Mahomes.
there's
Right.
Patrick
It's Sherman.
Mahomes.
Making
Kelsey.
his way down Grand Street. What is that, about 15th and Grand, maybe? Maybe not quite that far. Getting very close.
Yep.
Very
we have
close.
reporters all around too.
We do.
These guys are getting great vantage points for us as you take a look at all our cameras out there. People are filling in. It's great stuff. There's a honey badger walking down the street. That's unbelievable. The good stuff. He's living it up. I love how the players just jumped out and said, you know what? I want to be with the people.
Yep. And that's the kind of stuff Kansas City loves, and that I think it brings it out in those players. They feel comfortable enough. They know that this is a place where they can just be themselves. They can embrace the people they meet along the way. That's Kansas City. We are one big family.
You know, during the Super Bowl build-up that week in Miami, Coach Reed had a couple of former coaches, including Jimmy Johnson and of course, former player Terry Bradshaw, speak to the team. He asked them to talk to them. The Fox announcers would come by, and so I think it was Jimmy Johnson who said, guys, embrace this, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
You may never get this chance again.
Right.
So this team was well positioned with that mentality. You know, this may be our only shot.
Wow.
And they heard that from veterans who had been there themselves. And I think what you're seeing, Abby, is exactly that right now. They know, they don't know if they'll ever do this again.
Right.
They were saying it, Chris Jones, some of the other players after the game, right after the game, Rob, you were in the locker room, we're going to be back, we're going to be back. Well, you can say that.
Sure.
It's hard to get to a Super
In the
Bowl.
heat of the
It
moment,
is.
you know, you can feel that.
And
you
we'd
want to
love
get
to
back.
be in Tampa next year for
We would
Super Bowl 55.
I mean, listen,
But-
Florida this time of year
Yes.
is not a bad deal.
But
you know, and truthfully though, there is a part of me that thinks if Patrick Mahomes says he will be there next year, I gotta believe him.
How can you doubt him?
How can
After
you
the
doubt
playoff
him?
run, how can you doubt anything
Absolutely.
Mr. Magic Man can pull off? And Donovan McNabb also talked to the team one
Yes.
day during practice, and he knows very well about getting to the game and not being able to win it because he obviously was with Andy Reid when they came up short there. But all those guys really hammered home the fact to take advantage, you know, seize the day. Patrick Mahomes is saying it. We heard the pregame speech he gave them. You know, be great today. Be great today. And they were.
And they were in the fourth quarter. They were really good in the fourth
Not so
quarter.
great in a few spots, but when it mattered most, when they scored, I believe it was 5 clock minutes, and they scored 21 points after Mahomes was off the field for about an hour, remember?
We talked about that he looked flat coming out. The team looked flat. You have that long halftime show,
Right.
which is typical of the Super Bowl. And, of course, the Chiefs, the 49ers got the ball to start the second half. And so, yes, Patrick Mahomes sat for a while in the locker room and on the sidelines. But, boy, got warmed up in time and just in time. 21 straight points says, well, that's why we're here, celebrating a world championship. Super Bowl 54, the Chiefs bring home the Lombardi Trophy. We no longer have to fight for our right to Lombardi.
No, we don't.
As Travis Kelce would say.
Can you guys do the dance like Travis Kelce did?
No.
No.
I think he's got a market on that. That's good stuff.
I agree.
All right, you are watching Chiefs Victory Parade coverage. We're going to have more. The players are inching closer, folks. You got a couple minutes to refresh your beverage and come on back as we continue the big old party right downtown.
Coffee for us.
All right, you are watching the Chiefs victory parade and celebration live here on Fox 4 as the double-decker buses with the players inch ever closer to Union Station.
Incredible crowds. All of Chiefs Kingdom has turned out down there to watch this. And, you know, we've been really lucky. It's cold, but the snow started and then kind of tapered off. We're not getting the snowfall that we expected.
Well, you know, two guys who probably don't think it's cold is Tyreek Hill and Demarcus Robinson.
say,
They were
yeah.
out there dancing earlier with the shirts off. I saw my guy Billy Quatch down there, Billy Quatch Films. They were doing some films down there in the street, but they're just having a lot of fun out there. I think that's Steve Spagnuolo over there as the double-decker gets under the bridge there. But
Now, not long after they started on the parade route, several of the players got off the double-decker buses, and they have walked most of the parade down Grand, greeting fans, giving them high fives, taking pictures with people, showing off the Lombardi Trophy.
And I think we saw that shot earlier, the crowd that's kind of settling into Union Station there. You see the Sea of Red over there in between the hotels there in Union Station. But a lot of those fans that are watching early, they're going to start to, proceed
fill
their
in.
way over there.
They're
It's going to
making their way
fill
to-
in, and it's going to look huge.
Oh,
There's
there it
Who's
is.
carrying the
There,
trophy
we
here?
got McCole Hardman there carrying the trophy. DeMarcus now with a shirt on, addressing the crowd there. There's the little ones there. But McCole's been having a great moment with the Lombardi Trophy. He took pictures with it in Miami. Posted those all over the place, and now he's taking it there. He's really the rookie who was also named the Mack Hill Rookie of the Year too. So I know this is a big moment for him, as for all the Chiefs players.
All right,
Let's get back to John, Abby, and Rob. They're right there at Weston Crown Center.
Because, no one would hand me anything of that value.
The good news is the Chiefs are good at keeping the ball, no turnovers, and I think that Lombardi Trophy will make it to the stage unscathed.
Yes.
It has
it's
to,
in good
because
hands.
Travis Kelce has to do the Lombardi
That's
Luge in
right.
front of everybody.
That's right.
He has to get up there.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, we're getting very close. It makes you wonder. The rally was supposed to start at 1:30. It seems as though things are moving a lot faster than we initially thought. So it makes you wonder if that rally will begin earlier than 1:30.
Yeah, everybody's just waiting for all the players to come by. You saw the buses emptying. All the guys on the bus, the Hunt family, some of the coaching staff, some of the support staff, they're all getting off those double-decker buses and making their way toward the stage where they have a bunch of stands set up in front of the stage. You see the open spots in there. They're going to fill that in. All the guys are going to get on the stage, pass the mic around, have a little victory speech as we see more players getting closer and closer to us here. We're on our perch at the Westin, overlooking the Sea of Red for a championship parade. Johnny, how does that sound?
Say it again.
A championship parade, my friends.
That sounds
awesome.
sounds so good. And I got to tell you, growing up in Central Kansas, a big Royals fan, was around when they lost to the Phillies in the World Series, and then of course won it in '85. And we all thought, oh, this is going to happen again, and it did 30 years later, right? 2015, Chiefs, Super Bowl IV. I was tiny little lad. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was around, but didn't really pay much attention to it. Of course, Hank Stram and his squad went into New Orleans, Tulane Stadium, and beat up on the Vikings. They were 12.5-point underdogs and pulled that one off. And here we are 50 years later. We all wondered, would we ever see this in our lifetimes? And boy, are we ever. So yes, It does sound good to answer your question. It sounds good whether you're a lifelong fan like myself or a transplant to this metro area and this kingdom. Everybody is enjoying this moment, savoring it, embracing it, just as Coach Reed told his team and others who talked to the team. I think we all realize how fleeting this kind of thing can be. So embrace it. Hope for another one or two along the way.
Sure.
But enjoying this
Yeah,
day.
and
no
for
matter
me,
how
growing
cold
up outside of Dallas, Texas, we heard about the Dallas Texans all the time. It was the Cowboys and the Texans in my house, and then went to the Chiefs. Chiefs have always had a part in our TV football watching, and with the Hunt family there, it's just been great. It's great synergy here as more buses are coming in. Players are coming in. People are fired up there on that bus.
And Abby, you being an Omaha girl, you were in the Chiefs Kingdom
We were in
growing
the
up.
Chiefs Kingdom growing up. And of course, Will Shields from Nebraska.
Right.
As soon as he went to the Chiefs, I mean, you got all eyes from Nebraska on the Chiefs. But we're just a short 3-hour drive up I-29. And so it was basically the professional football version of Nebraska Husker football was the Chiefs. Same color, you got your red on. And in fact, I see a lot of Huskers at Chiefs games. So yeah, grew up knowing the Chiefs, loving the Chiefs as a young girl, and being here, being part of this is truly an amazing experience. And we are starting to see some of those double-decker buses turning onto Pershing, approaching Union Station. We got Tech 9 playing in the background.
Tech 9 was at the Super Bowl. I talked to him.
was.
He was fired up, and Alex Gordon was on our plane back too.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Jeez,
he was.
you guys are rubbing elbows with all the
Speaking
right
of
people.
Nebraska,
Yeah,
Alex
exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we saw Tech 9. I asked him when we were at the Super Bowl, I said, hey, are you going to be part of this parade if we win? Like, what's the plan? They said, there are things that are being talked
there are
about.
things.
But, you know, they didn't want to get into specifics because, well, Travis from Strange Music didn't want to jinx anything.
No.
Now, Tech had no doubt. Walking into the Super Bowl, Tech and Chris Calico said they're winning. We have no doubt they are going to win this Super Bowl. And
I hear there
right.
may be some surprises on the stage too today.
I
I
can
can't give
see
it
that.
away, but I've heard that the fans may be in for a treat.
You know, you mentioned
Really?
Alex Gordon
Yeah.
being on that flight. There was a time, you know, the Royals and the Chiefs were both competing for an audience. And
Right.
I'll never forget when the Royals got into the World Series, won the World Series, the Chiefs stepped up and embraced that, and now the Royals have returned, sporting Kansas City. These pro teams in this town support each other, and that's a cool thing to see because they're all in it together. This is a
Right.
small market, right?
Right.
Speaking of Tech 9, Red
Yeah,
Kingdom.
there you go.
And so this is a great moment for all of the Kansas City sports community. As we take a quick break here, as the Chiefs begin to arrive, we're going to be back. Don't worry, you'll see it all. Our Parade of Champions coverage all throughout the kingdom continues. And welcome back to our live coverage of a Parade of Champions. See that sign on the side of that wrap bus, World Champions. And oh my goodness, what a day it is for Kansas City and the entire Chiefs Kingdom. John Holt, Abby Eden, Rob Collins, and a host of others bringing you this live coverage of the parade, and soon to come, the rally on the stage at Union Station.
Yeah, the players are working their way in. We just saw Frank Clark go by. He unzipped his hoodie or pull over and revealed he had a Derek Thomas jersey on,
Very
and
cool.
everybody went crazy
Total
when they
respect.
saw the real Frank Clark sporting that Thomas jersey as the players are going to get off those buses, make their way to the stage, and we're going to have a rally coming up here very soon.
And
That's
you're
the
taking a
stage.
live look here. This is Union Station, and the crowd has grown by leaps and bounds.
How great does that look?
It looks so beautiful. This is something that we could only have dreamed of for the last 5 years, and people photoshopped old Royals pictures from that rally and parade to make it look like it was the Chiefs, and it looks like the pictures. It's absolutely amazing. And the wind chills are in the teens here. It's been snowing off and on all morning. And the amazing thing is, Chiefs Kingdom does not care. When I came out here at 4 o'clock this morning, there were already hundreds of people at Union Station ready to get their place. They wanted to make sure they had the best possible spot they could get.
The Super Bowl trophy is right under us
Wow,
right now.
there it is. There's the Lombardi.
We get a shot of that.
Who is that? Who
I
is
think
that
that's
carrying
Coach
that? Is that
Reed.
Andy Reid?
I think that's Coach Reed.
Andy Reid
Which-
carrying the Lombardi trophy, allowing some lucky people to touch the Lombardi trophy.
I can't tell who that is. I'm not sure if
Think
it's Coach
it's
Reed or
Coach
I
not.
believe so.
You know,
it does
Rob
look like him.
and Abby,
Wow.
one thing
Wow.
about that guy right there, all season long, and particularly as we got into the playoffs, he kept, getting asked about winning a trophy and what would
Sure.
it mean to him. And he deferred. He said, look, it'd be great, but I'm 61 years old. There are more important things in life. But if it happens, yes, obviously, you want to win. That's why we play sports in this country. That's why we do what we do. But the bottom line is he is loving it. You
Yeah.
saw it on the floor, the trophy presentation, how giddy he was. We're seeing it right now on a cold winter day. He's out of the vehicle. He's carrying that trophy. He's letting the fans share it with him. And, man, it's just heartwarming to see Andy Reid, having been in a Super Bowl with the Eagles and came up short against the Patriots, finally get over the hump, winningest active coach, now has his ring. That part of his story is over. And Rob, as we've said, no doubt punching that ticket when it's time.
When
That's
it's time.
years away.
Yeah.
There's talk that he will stay as long as Patrick Mahomes is his
And why would
quarterback. Right.
And
Right.
what's very cool about Coach Reid, obviously he's known as a quarterback guru, but
Yes.
I think Patrick Mahomes has pushed him to be even better.
Right. Yes.
Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, a marriage made in Chiefs Kingdom heaven, because these two guys are going to push each other for the next couple of years as long as Mahomes stays healthy and as long as he has that base. And he's got some players they're already signed. We know Tyreek Hill is signed. Mecole Hardman is on a rookie contract. They got the pieces in place to make a pretty good run over the next couple of years.
And Coach Reid has said he doesn't think we've seen the best of Patrick Mahomes, that he
Isn't that
can get
unbelievable?
better.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then yes, your heart soars with the possibilities. Will Sammy Watkins be back? Will, there are question marks
Damian
about
Williams.
Damian Williams. Question marks about the team's future. You know what? That's for another day.
Yeah.
And what I think is really cool, as we see these players and Andy Reid take the Lombardi trophy around to some of these fans, they have acknowledged all along the way that without the fans who come to Arrowhead Sunday after Sunday, those who continuously support the Chiefs, Chiefs Kingdom, without them, the Chiefs would not be what they are today. The players would not be who they are today. And you are seeing that with the players, with Coach Andy Reid, taking that Lombardi trophy to the fans, allowing them to touch it, allowing them to take part in the Lombardi trophy. The trophy that certainly would not be here in Kansas City today if it weren't for the people who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the years of their own money to come and support this team.
All right, they're filling in now. The players are getting closer and closer. Some of them dancing in front of the stage. Just get ready for this big rally that's going to come up here shortly as more and more buses continue to roll in. We had a little bit of a lag there in between buses. I think they're trying to get all the players back together.
Right,
Hey,
right.
get back on the bus, man. We
I
got to
think-
get up to the stage.
I think you said it best, Rob. Maybe an hour or so ago, somebody called an audible,
Yeah.
and they were off those buses,
Yeah.
or at least many of the players, mixing it up with their fans and just having a great time and living it up themselves. And we know that they lived it up after the game, the big party at their team hotel, Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull played.
Andy Reid hanging out with Pitbull.
No sleep for Coach
Imagine
Reid.
that, right.
Yeah, I want to see video of Andy Reid and Pitbull just getting after it together. That'd be some good stuff. And Coach Reid, he's got some moves. He showed a lot of his personality this week, which I
did.
thought was great
Yeah.
on the
Yes.
national level, because a lot of folks know of Coach Reid, but they don't get to work with him and see him day in, day out than we do. And he's got a great sense of humor. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, he'll throw those jabs in when he said about his grandchildren.
Yep.
I have these grandchildren that's good and bad. They're kind of like sweet and sour pork. They
Yeah.
keep me old, keep me young, but I'm old. It's good stuff. Coach Reid's got jokes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Time's yours, as he likes to say,
Yeah.
and the time is ours for
time
a
is-
big parade.
We got some more of those
championship parade.
buses now making
Yeah.
their way onto Pershing, and I believe these are the buses with some of the players on them, the ones that have been able to contain the players who have
Yeah,
not
that's
gotten
right.
out and walked their own way.
Well,
along.
time is definitely standing still right now for Chiefs Kingdom, and why not savor every single second of this moment, whether you are here among the masses or you're watching at home or you're watching online anywhere in the world. This is awesome.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, you are going to see these buses live and in person coming down Pershing. We'll be right back.
We haven't heard.
And back live, Kansas City, the heart of the Chiefs Kingdom. We welcome all of you watching in the 3 or 4 state area who've joined us here for a parade of champions as the bus carrying QB1, Patrick Mahomes, has just arrived. We had a bit of a gap between its arrival and more of the players arriving, the Chiefs cheerleaders coming in now, and we see the end of the parade. So we are really getting very close to the rally portion of this event happening now on the stage at Union Station. And Rob, it's been quite a day for those along the parade route, doing everything they can to stay warm, seeing the players, having the players jump off the buses and carry the trophy, getting a chance just up close and personal. I have no doubt everybody's nice and warm today.
Yeah, nice and warm, especially on that bus. That's the party bus that just showed up. We have Travis Kelce on that bus, Patrick Mahomes. We can get a shot down there somewhere right by Union Station where the streetcar is. Someone is on that second bus right now, spitting champagne on everybody. Yeah, we need to be on the other side of there. These guys are showering people with champagne.
Man.
Travis Kelce's bus, Patrick Mahomes there, Anthony Sherman is on that bus. That is 100% the party bus, and we see fans right there trying to be a part of that action.
What will happen now is that many of the fans who've been downtown in the canyon as the parade came down Grand, they are going to try to make their way down here. So this area will fill in as it did when the Royals had their parade in 15. And the rally will continue with the players, coaches, no doubt Mark Donovan, the president, Brett Veach, the general manager, Andy Reid, the head coach, the Troika that have made this possible. And they will be on stage, and we'll hear from some of them, the players. They have a program planned. It's going to get lit down here by Union Station.
It is indeed, and I can see a Patrick Mahomes bus. They're tossing beers back behind them to the bus behind those guys. If we have a camera in that area, that camera should be over there in place to see those guys, because you're missing quite a show right now with these guys right now throwing stuff to the fans, having a great time. This is the action, the best place to be. Patrick Mahomes bus, Anthony Sherman, Travis Kelce, they're having a lot of fun with the guys right behind them.
Their view,
more champagne.
Their view blocked by the link there, but it's there. You take a look at the stage. That's where the rally itself will happen. team will be up on that stage. And for any city celebrating a world championship, hearing from the players is really a highlight. Unfortunately, we've seen it all too often out of New England. We've seen it out of other cities. And guess what? Chiefs Kingdom, it's time to see
our
it
time.
and experience it here.
It is our time indeed. The guys back at the station, from your vantage point, you think the crowds are getting bigger? What are you seeing?
Yeah, we're seeing loads of people who are along the parade route on Grand who are now running, trying to get there so they don't miss any part of the victory rally.
And we're also getting some word of some of the families getting separated, some small children. That's why the parade organizers set up some reunification stations.
Yeah, among some of those places, Grand Avenue Temple UMC at 205 East North Street. Of course, the Kansas City Police Department headquarters, 1125 Locust. Church of the Resurrection downtown at 1601 Grand. Temporary Child Reunification Tent at the southwest corner at 18th and Grand. Also one at the northeast corner of 20th and Grand, and the Blue Cross Blue Shield Kansas City at 2301 Main Street. So again, as Pat was saying, if you have any lost family members, especially children, please check those places. I'm sure if you check our website, fox4kc.com, we have a listing of those as well, so you can make sure that you get in contact and regroup with your loved ones. Because I'm sure cell phone service out there has to be slowing down. I'm sure I've heard some reports of people saying that it slowed down earlier this morning. So now as it picks up, I'm sure it's got to be a lot more difficult. So please check our website. If you have lost a loved one out there, if you're watching, please go check those.
Brendan's our producer in the booth. Is there any chance we can go to the other two crews out there? Sheree Honeycutt is up high at Liberty Memorial with a bird's eye view, and then Kara Moshik and Kathy Quinn have been down on the ground there at Union Station. They were talking to crowds earlier. We don't have them yet. We'll get those coming up for you here a little bit, but we're just seeing so many people who are on their way down there. Some of them jogging, running, because they don't want to miss a single moment. We expect that to kind of fill that crowd in. There was a big crowd there below Liberty Memorial around Union Station, but still you saw some green space. We think they're going to fill that in, and it's going to be pretty spectacular.
And to your point, Harold, I was speaking with Sprint and Verizon officials yesterday, and they warned people to manage their expectations with cell service. They rolled in some portable units, a COW unit, which is a cellular on wheels, and some emergency response teams with some of the cell towers that they put up after natural disasters to try to boost the capacity. But one Verizon official explained it to me as, just picture your highway on your normal commute to work, then add 1 million people. That's what the bandwidth can handle. So you have to just be realistic about what you can expect from your phone on a day like this.
And another thing that's been dangerous that I've seen out there, a lot of people are climbing up the trees to get some better vantage points. And I understand trying to get better vantage points, but it's just dangerous. Getting down could be dangerous. Who knows the condition of the people that climbed up those trees. So just try to be careful and cautious getting down there. I think we have Sheree Honeycutt
Sheree
out there.
Honeycutt at Liberty Memorial. Yeah. Sheree, can you hear us? What are you seeing?
Hey, Lauren, it's really cool out here. People are super excited. We were seeing the buses come down the street. It's hard to see from this viewpoint, but I can see them in the distance coming and traveling, and more people are coming. So they're all really excited to see the buses arrive. I haven't been able to see too much of the coverage. I went back to the van and saw them coming down the route. It looked like such a good time. But this is really an interesting viewpoint because you can see all the people just filling in, waiting to see Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, the Honey Badger, have them all come in and talk to everybody about the championship. It's just a really special moment for people. We had Tech 9 out here. That was crazy. I had people out here outside of our barrier getting on other people's shoulders just to get a vantage point and see, because there's so many people up here in the public area that they can't get a good viewpoint. They have to go down to that main area. But it's just a really cool thing to see. I'm so excited to see the players come out, and just what a day. We are the champions. Back to you guys.
Sheree, could we ask you, maybe, Sheree, could we get a full picture? Maybe you could take a step to your left so we could get a full-frame view of your vantage point there. Look at
what
that.
I'm seeing here is just a sea of red and yellow. There are people out here doing all kinds of stuff to stay warm. This is the biggest party that Kansas City has seen in a long, long time. And let me tell you, since I've been here in the last 2 years, this is the most fun I've had here, and this is just amazing. It really says something about the community of Kansas City, what it's about, and who is here. You can see all these people together as one, a sea of red, and they're all just enjoying the championship, enjoying the win, and just ready to see what we do next season, see what these players have to say. It's just a super exciting time, and I'm super blessed to be up here and see this vantage point. Back to you guys.
That is phenomenal. Look at those crowds.
It's all the beach balls going off around there too. Pretty cool. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of the people just kind of filter in now. Again, as Sheree was saying, I think it should be said, put your hands up, and they stay there, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back and bring you more live coverage in just a moment.
Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to Championship Parade coverage. We're atop the Westin here looking down on Union Station as the stage is about to get ready for the players to come out and the rally's going to start. Most of the players are off the buses, off the double-decker buses. They're behind that stage you see right there, getting in position to come out. They'll be introduced. Crowds are going to go nuts. We see so many people kind of moving their way into Union Station area now. They're walking down the street right now. We can see everybody just trying to get as close as they can to be a part of this moment, 50 years in the making.
The hardest part may be corralling the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think so, right?
They literally had Chiefs on foot, and at one point we saw Andy Reid walking back toward Grand on Pershing with the trophy, letting fans touch it. We think they've corralled Big Red, and he will be a part of the festivities.
We don't know, man.
We don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter. They're really 1:30 is the start time they have said for the stage portion of the rally. So we're still a few minutes away from that, and we're glad you're joining us all throughout the kingdom. Hope you've enjoyed this live coverage on your local station, as well as fox4kc.com streaming it, and a number of other sites around our corporate Nexstar Nation, as we call it, carrying the parade festivities today on their websites as well. So hopefully wherever you are, again, the kingdom, as we've said, is growing by leaps and bounds. And Rob, I got to tell you, one of the things I heard in Miami, and I know you heard this as well, the reason the kingdom is growing is Patrick Mahomes. There are fans in other markets. I spoke to Ricardo Garcia of Fox Sports Latin America, and he explained how even in Mexico and parts of Latin America, other parts, Patrick Mahomes is giving this franchise a profile that is becoming global. It's the Cowboys, it's the Patriots, it's those kinds of teams that have had that profile now Patrick Mahomes is giving the Chiefs that elevated profile.
We saw a lot of folks in Miami who were from Miami area wearing Patrick Mahomes jersey. We mistakenly thought they were Chiefs fans and telling like, hey, where are you from? I live here, but I love Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. It's amazing how 3 years removed from Big 12 football, Texas Tech, second full season as a starter. Here we are with Patrick Mahomes helping raise the profile. And Kara Mashik is enjoying the festivities a little bit closer even than us. Kara, what are you seeing from your location?
Lots of excitement here. We've got all these fans. This guy right here was very excited to show off his headdress. Lots of Chiefs fans out in their red and gold. And as you guys kind of alluded to, check out the hillside here. This side of the grass was empty about 10 minutes ago, and it has gradually filled in, and people are still continuing to come down the hill and pack into that hillside there so they can kind of look behind us toward the stage where that pep rally will be happening in just a few minutes. But the energy level here has not gone down one iota, and they had to wait a long time for the parade to get all the way down the street from where you were to here at Union Station. So you can feel the energy level is going through the roof now as they wait to hear from the team at the podium in a little bit. Are you guys excited? Chiefs Kingdom is excited and ready to have this moment that's been so long in the making, many of them waiting their entire lives to celebrate the way that Kansas City is celebrating today. Back to you guys.
How fun. Kara Mashik down there amidst the sea of red. That's that red storm that has moved in. We saw it in Miami. Now we're seeing it back here in the heart of the Chiefs Kingdom, and we're rejoined by Abby Eden, who had a chance to warm up a little bit. You've been out here since, what, 3:30, 4 a.m.?
Yes, sir. It's the marathon shift, and there's nowhere else that I would rather be. Nothing was going to keep me away from this parade.
Nowhere else
amazing.
all these people would rather be as well.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, Kansas City is so smart by canceling school, canceling work. They knew better. No one's going in. This is like, you know, I think back to like when it's Christmas week and you kind of forget what day it is and what you're supposed to be doing. This is Christmas week in Kansas City. What day is it? Honestly, I don't know.
I had to be reminded very often, and John, I know you did as well, what day it was in Miami when we were down there covering the squad.
I actually called it Red Tuesday, and it was Wednesday. And actually, it was Thursday because we were after midnight in Miami, but it doesn't matter.
It's all grouping together. It doesn't matter. And I would like to see the productivity lost at workplaces for the last 2 weeks in Kansas City, because all people could think about was the Super Bowl, and then all people could think about was the parade and the fact that we won the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you know, I think the rest of the country will have to pick up our portion of the gross domestic product for a day or two.
And this shot from Liberty Memorial there is kind of deceiving if you're not familiar with the area. If you're watching from somewhere else and you haven't been to Kansas City, there's kind of a dip in there, and you really can't see the magnitude of people that are on this hill. It is unbelievable how many people are out there. You see the little open spot here to the left, but when you look over to the right of your screen where the flagpole is and it goes down in there, there are
hundreds of people in there.
Probably 100,000 people just right there.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Small, that's a large Kansas town right there. That's like a third of Nebraska.
Yeah, right?
I'm from Nebraska, so don't write me letters. I can say that.
Yep, no, you can, and that's very true. It's a small city within a city that rivals and is much larger even than some of the biggest towns in the region whose fans support this franchise, this Chiefs franchise and championship franchise now. 2-1. We're a game over 500 in Super Bowls now.
Yes.
Lost what was retroactively Super Bowl I to the Packers. Came back and played in the last Super Bowl game that would be the AFL, the old AFL versus the NFL, and planted the AFL flag once and for all. The leagues merged the next year, and off we go. Sadly, until this year, without a Chiefs team in the Super Bowl with the AFC versus NFC, but not anymore. We've ended that drought, and these fans couldn't be happier.
And it's in the teens. The wind chill is in the teens. This is not weather that's for the faint of heart. And I am just amazed by how many people came out. They brought their children. They brought their entire family. They all want to be a part of this historic day in Kansas City.
You know, we know people who talked about they were there or they watched the last game. We've interviewed those people the weeks leading up to this game, and and everybody now wants to be a part of it. It's generational, and this will be a moment that people will always remember. They'll tell their kids and their grandkids, say, hey, I saw Patrick Mahomes, potentially one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, go down the street with a beverage in one hand and the Lombardi in another hand.
We had the story of the good friends who were at the parade in '69 and they had told their parents they were going to school. They got busted because they ended up on the cover of then Kansas City Times, right? And so now, all grown up, we talked to them, and these districts, these school districts, they did it back in '15 with the Royals Parade. They just decided, you know what? Rather than deal with absenteeism, we're just going to give everybody an excuse, and many of those kids are down here. And I've talked to a lot of parents who, they weren't coming here, but they were going to host watch parties at home, and we hope they're enjoying our coverage with their kids at home where it's nice and warm. They were going to just get together, bring friends and family together to watch it, and that's what is so great about this event today. It's being shared in so many parts of the kingdom, here in Kansas City and beyond, and of course the thousands who are here at Union Station.
The perfect vehicle to finish all that leftover Super Bowl food, and
yeah,
maybe,
there you go.
And if you had any beverages left,
you go.
You can knock them all out today. And then get back to work.
Is there a party that had leftover beverages?
I don't know,
Wow,
man.
I don't know.
Probably not after the celebration, right?
Exactly.
Good stuff. Well, we're 30 minutes, if they stay on script, 30 minutes away from the big rally starting here on this stage you see right there, Union Station, all decked out in the Super Bowl championship swagger gear as we are LIV living large in Kansas City, Missouri, folks. This is unbelievable. 30 minutes now until that rally, and I cannot wait to hear some of those guys on the mic. This is going to be lit indeed.
Yes, it is.
A lot of the fans still coming from Grand, the parade route. They're making their way through Washington Park behind us toward the stage area. You won't have any trouble hearing what's happening on stage, even if you're not right there to see it, because of the sound system that you're probably no doubt hearing behind us. There will be Chiefs players, coaches, some entertainment as well, and we will carry it live right here on the affiliate you're watching, and on, of course, the websites that are streaming the show right now.
All right, we're going to catch our breath out here at the Westin overlooking Union Station. We're going to throw it back to the station. You guys, we're having a lot of fun out here. You can live vicariously through us. We'll bring you the energy.
Yes.
And energy indeed, Rob, John, Abby, great work out there as always. You know, the long hours in Miami I'm sure are paying off for those guys with the Chiefs parade. And we're waiting. They said 1:30. I know expected to talk was Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Clark Hunt, Andy Reid, of course, Mark Donovan, and a few others that might approach.
We're just watching this shot fill in every time we take it. I look at the bottom of the screen because there's more and more, and I expect by about 1:30 when we take this shot, there's going to be no lawn visible whatsoever.
You know, one thing that I was thinking watching these guys going through the streets on the buses, especially when they got out and walked amongst the crowds, greeting fans. Andy Reid pointed out that he said to them, you know, enjoy this because this is the only time that we'll have this makeup, all of you together as this team. And we've got lots of free agents coming up. There'll be some changes to the lineup and to the staffing after this. You've been with these guys, Harold, since summertime, since training camp first started. Any observations on that, on guys who didn't think they were, you know, who joined partway through all of this? I mean, it's really been a unique combination to see how they've all come together and just become this incredible team.
Yeah, it's kind of a beginning, middle, and end. But the middle, when you had guys like Steven Wisniewski join the team, Terrell Suggs kind of joined toward the end. And then at the beginning, where you had all the injuries and you kind of had mix and match people, you had a few rookies that came in that weren't able to really provide to the best of their ability at the beginning, guys like Colin Saunders and even McCole Hardman. But those guys, they've come along, and then it all came together as a team. And toward the end, it culminated in this, a victory parade for the Chiefs.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are watching the Parade of Champions here on Fox 4.
All right, welcome back. You're watching the Parade of Champions on Fox 4, a celebration 50 years in the making, as we're just about 24 minutes away from the celebration on stage. And while we wait, look at these amazing sights and sounds we've already seen.
This is some video from earlier this morning. Now, if you are just joining us, we thought you might want to have a chance to see Eric Bieniemy. We've got Clark Hunt and his family there. There's Patrick Mahomes with Travis Kelce.
With the WWE Championship belt, there's a bunch of guys out there. They, you know, we were referring to earlier how those guys wanted to get out the buses a little bit and show off that Lombardi Trophy to everybody. Some of those guys, the fans got to get a little feel there, and those guys were showing it off, and it's a happy moment for them indeed. These two guys we saw earlier, DeMarcus and Tyreek Hill, cold means nothing to them. They are dancing. They are having the time of their life. I mean, now, the Roddy Ricch dance, that's a hip-hop song if anybody doesn't know. Those guys were probably dancing to that because they were dancing to that in the locker room, too, after the game. Patrick's just been dancing
This
all
was
day.
making me very nervous. I'm kidding here, but I'm speaking as a dad.
But this is
on the back of the double-decker.
He's got Shermanator to help him out.
Exactly. I'm hoping that
making
Sherman
sure
or
he's
Kelce
keeping him restrained. Yeah.
There was a moment where he slipped just a little bit, and it scared fans to death. We've seen so many people post who are watching our coverage like, no, don't slip. Don't do anything
Hopefully
that
he's
could
tethered
result
with
in an
cables
injury.
to the top of that bus.
We also want to give a shout out to all of the Chiefs Kingdom spread out all over the United States, even other parts of the world. We have heard from people in several other states who are watching this now. They're watching the live stream. We want to give a shout out to all the folks in White House, Texas, hometown to Patrick Mahomes. They're watching there thanks to our sister station in Tyler. We have folks in Lubbock, in Abilene, in Houston, in Dallas. Thank you to all the Texas fans who rallied behind Patrick Mahomes and became Chiefs fans after the Cowboys and the Texans were out of this. They were so gracious, and so many of them voiced their support on social media and on our Facebook page. They were pulling for us, and we appreciate all of you.
Well, it's nice to see a team that originally was from Dallas actually win something for once. I'm joking. I'm joking. But I think we're going to go out there now. We got Kara out there. Kara just described the scene for us out there. I'm sure it's getting a little crazy out there, Kara.
Hey, how's it going, guys? We definitely have a lot of people, as we talked about just a few minutes ago, the hillside filling in more by the minute. Not much grass left out there. And the excitement level has not dampened whatsoever. People are very happy. We're glad to see the players that got closer, and we know that the rally is probably going to be happening at any moment now. So they're ready for that. Just describe the atmosphere in downtown Kansas City right now.
Yes, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. This many people don't even know what to think. Fantastic.
It's definitely a history-making moment, and these fans are loving every minute of it, and it's been fun to be out here with them. Back to you guys.
Did you give a shout out to Pookie in them?
Okay.
My guy.
All right. It's a festive but happy crowd, peaceful, which is nice to see.
Yeah,
we have seen so many people who, once they were along the parade route on Grand, which started down at the River Market, and then as soon as the buses passed them, they all took off running. They've been trying to get down there to get their spot in front of Union Station. Nobody wants to miss the rally. It's about 20 minutes away. They're all regrouping inside right now, getting warm, getting the lineup set to go. Who do we think we're going to hear from?
Well, I know for sure we're going to have Patrick and Travis address. Andy, Mark Donovan, of course, the president, Clark Hunt, CEO and chairman, and Brett Veach, the general manager. They will all take to the podium. A couple other people might take the podium as well. Who knows what other players might take the mic? I know a lot of people want to see Chris Jones or Frank Clark take the mic.
Yes.
If that happens,
John Hope voiced my thoughts earlier.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the Johnny Gomes of this press
There's
conference?
a few candidates already.
Rally.
I think Tyreek Hill and DeMarcus Robinson definitely with the shirtless dance routine.
Whoever,
definitely is going to be
there are some characters on this team, in a good way, of course.
Yes.
That when they take the mic, we don't know what will happen. Travis Kelce, an interesting note about him. So his brother, Jason Kelce, he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Right. And he came up with a Mardi Gras-like costume that was an eagle green, and he kind of screamed on the mic and said whatever he wanted, and they had to, use the bleep button a little bit.
Delay.
Travis says there's rumors out there that Travis might want to top his brother's celebration.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
So in that case, we don't know what will happen, but I do think I know this, that when Travis Kelce takes to the mic, he's going to say, you got to fight for your right to party.
And
Everybody will say it in unison. It will be the largest get the Guinness Book of World Records ready when he says that.
And I don't know if he's going to match his brother's Mardi Gras outfit, but we do know that he is wearing the WWE Championship
He
belt.
is. Yeah,
Is he the one wearing it?
Yeah,
So he's already got that on.
Triple H, I think I said it last night, the King of Kings, which is Triple H's nickname, giving it to the champ of champions in the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's pretty cool.
Well, that thing was huge. It really only fits him or Anthony Sherman.
Oh, and it's heavy too. The real ones are they're quite heavy. Yeah, the real ones are quite heavy.
And you just got to give a shout out to the hundreds of thousands. You know, who knows if we'll get a specific figure at any time. The people who've been braving the elements with all the warnings we've been giving all week about how cold it's going to be. That people obviously bundled up. And they got out there very, very early, and they are still there, and I don't think they're going anywhere.
I tell you, our crews were out there at 2, 3 o'clock this morning and said hundreds of people were already up. I don't know how you guys did it. Did you set the alarm for midnight? But they got up and got down there to reserve their spot. They wanted to make sure they had a great place to watch the parade.
Look at that scene.
Yeah,
that is just so cool.
It's just growing. I mean, we're seeing that green grass or brown grass really slowly start to fade away. Yeah, shout out to Matt Stewart, Marcus Officer Sharifa Jackson, Shannon O'Brien, Reagan Porter, and of course, Kira, who you just saw there out there working hard out there. And what the weather's, you know, I'm sure it's pretty cold out there. A lot of people are out there, but they didn't care. They want to see this moment. They want to see history today, and that's what they're doing. And we see there he is, the Hunts themselves out there again.
That's Clark Hunt and his wife Tavia, their daughter Gracie. This is a huge moment for the Hunt family, the Lombardi Trophy now.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, huge moment for Eric Bieniemy. Huge moment, of course, for Patrick Mahomes and
there's that
Kelce.
belt.
There's the belt.
There it is.
Yeah, huge moment for these guys.
There's McCall Harbin.
I mean, you can say it over and over again how much of a big moment it was for these guys. Andy Reid, of course. You know, we asked him in the press conference yesterday that he had yesterday afternoon, and the last question was like, what's this mean for you? And he's still trying to be very humble about it. He's always been about the players. You genuinely hear about him as being a player's coach, but he is one of those guys. He wants to deflect the attention from him, but you know it means something to him. You know,
and so much
for so much he's been through in all his years of coaching. I mean,
and they always say that he's a guru, he's an offensive mind, never won the big one, but now he's won the big one. And I just still can't get over, as we watch Mahomes having a good time here, the way he still had a few tricks up his sleeve in the Super Bowl with Mahomes running the option. They ran a single wing.
Yeah, the 1949 Rose Bowl play, yeah.
I mean, it was just incredible that you think, like, oh, Andy Reid's going to do something that you've never seen before, and he's still on the Super Bowl, on the biggest stage, had another trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, that play, they were dancing like it was the Four Tops. But this is the video we referred to earlier. You got people trying to get views out there. And I mean, honestly, I get it. You want to get a good vantage point. The monitors might not be at an angle you like, but this is just completely dangerous.
Look at that.
And this is what you don't want to see.
We've had at least one person fall out of a tree so far today.
Obviously, you don't want to speculate here the age of
guy
these
up high
people,
there,
but
I don't like
this
that.
is not good. It's just sad to see. And the last thing you want to see is something dangerous about this. And we have Sheree out there who might have more to say
at Liberty
about this.
Memorial, which has got a great vantage point. Sheree, what are you seeing?
Hey, Lauren, I'm seeing people just enjoying the day and having the best time. And you wanted to see the vantage point? I'm going to let you see it. It is just beautiful. Check out all these people just dancing, having fun, enjoying the day with their families. They're all getting ready for the big show, just like you are, waiting for those players to come out and talk about that win and how much it means to them. It's just been a great day for everyone. We're seeing it's kind of filled into the point where we're not seeing a lot more. I'm expecting a lot of people who were on the parade route are now traveling over here. So hopefully we'll see a lot more people coming in here. I'm not sure if the weather kept people away at all, but there is a ton of people here. It is just amazing to see such camaraderie between everyone. It looks like everyone's getting along. I was looking at some posts. I saw a couple got engaged down there. So it's just a really special time when you think about the thousands of people that are right here in front of me, enjoying their day, having one of the best moments of their life. Like you said earlier, they're going to remember this forever. They're going to tell their grandkids, their kids, and it's going to be remembered for a long time. Today is definitely a piece of Kansas City history, and I'm so proud to be a part of it, and I'm so glad to be able to show it to you guys. Back to you in the studio.
Sheree, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are watching the Parade of Champions on Fox 4.
All right, welcome back to the Parade of Champions right here on Fox 4 as you're looking at the crowd, the sea of red amassing in front of Union Station. We're hopefully just about 12 minutes away from that celebration in front of Union Station.
Now, Brendan's our producer in the booth. Do you know, which camera is this? We were hoping we could pan over to the east and take a look at the crowd, because the east side is where Grand is. That's where a lot of the crowd is trying to come down from watching the parade on all of those blocks all the way back to Berkeley Riverfront Park, where this first started. But there's a huge crowd of people on the east side, and there's still some space. If you know anybody down there, or if you're looking to get down there, there's a little bit of space left on the west side where they can fill in, and there's some more standing room only crowd, but there's a little bit more space for people to get down there.
And there is space, which is why I'm just really concerned about these people climbing up trees. I mean, I said this before, and I just really concerned. I do not want anything to happen. It's supposed to be a joyous moment, but the last thing we need to do is report anything about somebody falling off trees. I mean, it's.
And we also noticed, we were about to pan over there, but I saw a lot of people sitting on those bluffs by the Westin Crown Plaza. It's a very steep grade. There again, as you were saying, Harold, you know, I want people to enjoy this and get a good vantage point of the victory celebration, but it's some steep terrain there that hotel is.
These fans are so excited. I don't know how you keep them from doing that. They're just so pumped up and so ready for this. So they've been waiting for this for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So much excitement. As you can see there, that you're looking at that crowd on the east side of Union Station. This camera's facing north, and it's filling in. It's definitely 50% or so has filled in since the parade just ended. So in about 10 more minutes, the rally's going to start there at Union Station. The team and some staff will take the stage, and we'll start to hear some of the players and coaches speak and again, address the fans.
If you're just tuning in now, you may have missed, there was a little excitement around 8 o'clock this morning. There was a car that got onto the parade route and drove right down Grand Boulevard, right down the parade route. The police did an amazing job of bringing that driver under control. They threw down some spike strips and did a pit maneuver, and they arrested 2 people that they said were impaired. And
they wanted to go for a joyride down the parade route.
Unbelievable.
It was not terrorism. Nobody was under attack. It just looked like some fans who kind of got out of control
Credit
of the celebration.
to KC Police for making sure. I think they used a pit maneuver to get them stopped. Nobody was harmed or injured in that, so that's a thankful situation there. Indeed.
So hopefully that will be the worst thing that we see happen today, and everything else goes off without a hitch. So far it has. It's been a great parade, and it's been so much fun to watch these players finally get to do what they talked about this in Miami after the game. They were so looking forward to coming back here and celebrating with Chiefs Kingdom with all their fans.
Are we hearing AC/DC? I think I hear
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Good stuff right there. I mean, we got, are we back with Abby yet, maybe? She might be not yet. Okay, well, while we wait for them, I'm sure they're up to some stuff. Probably trying to warm up more than anything.
It's been a long day for them as well.
It's been a long day for them, a long week for them as well. Of course, their coverage in Miami was fantastic, so we really appreciate them. But it was interesting watching the parade. You know, you saw some of the guys getting out, but then you saw a guy like Tyrann Mathieu, who was voted the team MVP, kind of walking, you know, by himself, and it was a pretty neat moment to see him kind of just drink it all in as a guy that they brought in to change
who's really become a strong leader on that team.
And when the moment he came in, the leadership of that team just was a complete 180, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They went through 8 personnel changes out of 11. Got rid of a lot of guys like Justin Houston, D. Ford, Orlando Scandrick, and brought in guys like Matthew, brought in guys like Frank Clark, or today honoring the great Derek Thomas, of course. So, you know, those guys are pretty good. So
how about this? Why don't we dive back into the crowd with Kara Mashe? Kara, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. We've got lots of friends. Every time we come to you guys, we have lots of friends with us, and they're helping keep us warm. So that's been nice. It really hasn't been as bad weather-wise as I thought that it might be. In fact, around the corner earlier, we spoke to him. We saw Santa Claus out here in all of his red and white, and he said that this is Chiefsmas, snow and all. So it's been a really fun time out here. How do you describe what this has been like to see your championship Chiefs celebrating here in Kansas City?
Oh, this is amazing. You know, we were prepared this time because of the Kansas City Royals, and now we're here to celebrate again. It's cold, but you feel the energy and you feel the vibes here. KCMO, KCK, Johnson County, Kansas City Metro representing here in KCMO.
And fans from all over, really, as well. We talked to people from Michigan, from all parts of Missouri, from Canada, people all over Chiefs Kingdom here to celebrate this historic moment that they have waited so long to enjoy. And they are just loving it. And people are not going away. We're seeing more and more people fill in, ready to see that pep rally take the stage here in just a couple of minutes. So we'll send it back to you guys.
We're champions, baby.
Kara, thank you. We're going to bring in Fox 4 meteorologist Alex County to talk a little bit about the weather, because once this rally ends, we've got hundreds of thousands of people who are going to be trying to get out of there and head home. You know, earlier today we got a little snow around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Right. How's it looking now?
Well, it looks like everything's continuing to push out towards the east. The worst of it's still back towards mid-Missouri over towards St. Louis, so that's good news. You see there in the shot of Union Station and of the stage. There's really nothing coming out of the sky right now. It's just cloudy over downtown, so that's good news. There is snow showing up on the radar. We still have that dry air, though, that is still doing a pretty good job of cutting down what's making it all the way to the surface. And that's really what we've noticed all morning long. We've only had a few flakes actually make it to the ground, so that's really the best case scenario. And that's what we're going to notice as we move throughout the rest of the parade. So I would expect conditions to be pretty similar to what we're seeing right now for the drive home.
Good, nice and clear. Let's get back to John, Abby, and Rob. They're at the Weston Crown Center. Hey, guys.
Welcome to the dance party.
That's right. They're playing Lizzo at Union Station, so we can't help but dance because we are feeling good, just like Lizzo is. We've got so many hundreds of thousands of people behind us.
You know, can I just say this? I'm really glad you're hip to what they're playing back there.
Yeah, I have no clue.
You know, they haven't had Sinatra on yet, or you know, any of my favorites.
There were Rolling Stones earlier.
I got the Stones. Got the
So
Stones.
there you go.
Lizzo!
We're getting fired up.
Yeah,
We're getting
we are.
close.
Yes.
About 7-8 minutes away. I was so fired up when we went inside to use the restroom. I knocked out a rep of 10 on the bench press.
I saw it.
Buck 55 on there. Slammed 10 out. Let's go, baby.
By the way, he also stepped into the sauna to warm up.
I did. It was cold. My feet are cold.
Yeah, I actually think that's a pretty smart move on your part.
Hey, you know, we should thank Jim Snow and his crew here at the
100%.
Weston Crown Center, the Sheraton. They've been great hosts. We really appreciate this observation point, and just they've taken great care of us up here. So thank you, Jim, and your crews. We take a live look at the stage there. There's Casey Wolf. He's the warm-up act.
He is the warm-up act. You gotta love that. This is a good sign that the rally is going to start soon. I can't imagine that they would delay it very long, if at all, because they know people are out here. They're cold. Yeah. The players are probably cold too.
Oh, no. They're inside the great
They're
hall.
inside, yes. Well, they've been in there for a good 20 or so minutes because the buses came in, unloaded everyone. So we see people walking across the stage, or some of the DJs, some of the guys on the mic getting fired up. And when they start that, we're going to bring it to you hot. We're not going to interrupt anything.
Nope.
And we're going to hopefully hear some emphatic speeches from Frank Clark, from Stone Cold Jones. Can't wait to hear what Patrick Mahomes has to say.
Is that what you call it, emphatic? Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Family friendly, we hope. And by the way, if you're just joining us here in the Kingdom, out there, and wondering what's going on, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl 50 years ago. We won a Super Bowl. We're back now, 2-1 in Super Bowls, and this is the one we're celebrating, Super Bowl 54.
This is just a party like no other, and people are waiting to hear from their favorite Chiefs players, from Coach Andy Reid, and they're just dancing it out. Like,
that's how you keep warm.
It might feel like 15 degrees outside, but we'll just dance it off. We'll get all warmed up.
Our fabulous field producer, Carrie Hibbler, is over here dancing it
Thanks,
off.
Hibbs.
Right? Just
You know
anything to keep warm, right?
Can we talk about the fact that all of the people who have been out here at Weston Crown Center who set up the shots, including Carrie, the people who are shooting this, our engineer, they have been out here since about 2 o'clock, 2:30 this morning, setting everything up in the cold. They deserve major kudos.
They are our champions.
And you've been out here since 3:30, and there were people here before you.
There were people here before me, exactly, that were waiting for their Chiefs. Oh, look at this. Man, the whole place is dancing down there at Union Station.
Here comes the rumble onto the stage, by
the way.
Yep.
Here we go.
So we're getting close to seeing head coach Andy Reid and his team, the world champions of the 2019 season. And, you know, Rob, it's just an amazing year, and particularly postseason for this team. When you consider that they came from behind in every game. Patrick Mahomes, of course, over 900 yards during the postseason, over 4,000 during the season. But just the what do you call it, the cardiac kids that they were for Chiefs fans.
Cardiac Chiefs.
It's just been something to see and experience for all of us. I think it makes it even sweeter when you consider start of the fourth quarter, it didn't look like this day was going to happen.
Chiefs first team in NFL history to overcome 10-point or more deficit in 3 straight games. And we saw it. 24, 10, and 10. And what they did in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes and the guys, 6-13, I believe, to 112. They scored 21 points in 5 clock minutes. Unbelievable 3rd and 15 to Tyreek Hill. That play will be talked about for a long, long time.
Patrick Mahomes was your Super Bowl MVP, but you and I looked at each other and said, hey, we know who the Super Bowl is. It's Damian Williams. What a game he had, 104 rushing yards, 29 receiving, 2 touchdowns, including the one that sealed it at the end of the game. I felt like he had a shot at it, but
he had a shot.
At the end of the day, it's the quarterback who has the edge.
Well, and
or
the
Tyrann
reason,
Mathieu as well.
the reason why they didn't give it to Damian, in my mind, is because they were already ahead when he made that long touchdown run. Right. If he goes down or goes out of bounds, they just take the time off the clock, victory formation. But he was up in the conversation for sure. And how great for him. We talked to him earlier in the week because, he was undrafted. He played on that field, got shipped out of Miami, and then he came back and he leads the team in postseason touchdowns. There's a trivia question that most people probably wouldn't be able to get. Damian Williams leading the team in postseason
And by the
touchdowns.
way, Frank Clark led in the playoffs, 5 sacks. A guy named Bosa had 4. We got 1 more than him there too. So that was everybody was focusing on Bosa and his play as a rookie. It was Frank Clark who ended up with 5 sacks at the end of the
Frank
day.
Clark and Chris Jones coming up big on those last 2 series when the defense really needed to step up. And they told me in the locker room afterwards that they felt vindicated because everything going into the game was about what? The front 7 of the 49ers. The Chiefs defense has played backseat all year long to the offense, and you have Patrick Mahomes, that's going to happen. But the defensive guys, Jones, Mathieu, other guys tell me that they feel vindicated and they feel like the defense can win games when they have to, and they proved it several times.
They sure did, blowing up the middle of that, really forcing the 49ers not just to run the ball, but to throw as well. The play action worked early. Toward the end, the Chiefs just disrupted the middle, and Chris Jones getting a big paw up on a play that their tight end was wide open and would have picked up another 20 years. Let's go down to the stage and just listen in as the Rumble.
Tomahawk Chop.
There we go.
Leading the crowd in the Tomahawk Chop, the Rumble. Rumble made up of volunteer percussionists. Many of them have jobs outside. Well, they all have jobs outside of being part of the Rumble. They just want to be a part of the Chiefs Kingdom, and so they volunteer their time for the organization. And they are leading the Tomahawk Chop in preparation for the beginning of the rally.
Let's let this breathe and listen along with us as we hear these fans celebrate in anticipation of the Chiefs taking the stage. A quiet calm goes over the crowd. About to have an eruption.
I know, right? It's going to happen. You can just feel the anticipation. The area has filled in with fans who are along Grand, taking in the parade itself, and now we await the arrival of Coach Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Here we go.
Have come from one voice. No calls more historic than the ones made last Sunday, letting the world know the Chiefs are the champions of the world. Born in Chiefs Kingdom, the voice of Chiefs Kingdom, here's Mitch Holthus.
Wow, that's cool.
Hello, Chiefs Kingdom. We did it! When I closed that game as the seconds ticked down, I said this thinking of all of you watching, all of you here, all of you on that parade route today, because I said the Chiefs Kingdom has firmly planted its flag on top of football's highest summit. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 54. Today we celebrate one of the most remarkable teams in NFL history. What team would trail by 24 in a divisional playoff game and win by 20? What team would trail by 10 in the AFC Championship and win by 11? And what team would trail with 7:15 to go in a Super Bowl by 10 and win by 11? None, because no team in the 100-year history of the National Football League has ever done it. This team was resilient. This team was together. And this team was hyper-focused to win a championship for all of you. We also celebrate leadership today at many levels, including our servant leadership. It was right before the start of training camp. I was asked to MC a big rally in Springfield, Missouri, which is a hotbed of Chiefs Kingdom passion. And out in the crowd, I thought in the second row looked familiar, and it was the governor, Mike Parson of the great state of Missouri, who said, "Let's go, Mitch, we're going to do this." Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the governor of the great state of Missouri, Mike Parson.
I don't know whether I'm here as a governor today or as part of the kingdom as a fan for 50 long years. How about them Super Bowl Chiefs? Man, I've been a fan forever, and I want to give a shout out to this morning to the people that sat in the third level of Arrowhead where we sat. I'm shout out to you guys. Not too many years ago, most of you Chief fans like me, we were 2-14. 2-14. Clark Hunt made one of the most important decisions for this kingdom when we were 2-14. And let me tell you what that was. People said the dynasty started in Miami. I tell you it didn't. It started when Clark Hunt hired the best dang coach in the NFL and brought Andy Reid. That's the beginning. Now let me tell you, one of the luckiest players that will be playing in the NFL next year, and it will be Frank Clark. Frank Clark will get to do something nobody else in the NFL gets to do next year. None. He'll get to do something his teammates will not get to do. And let me tell you what that is. He will run down out of the stadium in Tampa Bay at the 55th Super Bowl wearing number 55. It is an honor and privilege to represent the great state of Missouri, the Show Me State, and who did a better job this year than showing us the world champion, Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
I want to bring up another world champion right now because in 1985, he helped lead our Kansas City Royals to a world championship. His number's retired at the K, and now one of our servant leaders, please welcome Jackson County, Missouri Administrator Frank White.
Chiefs, How about it? I'm really excited to be able to represent Jackson County. Jackson County has been really fortunate to have two franchises that have been very successful here in Kansas City. I've seen 2 Super Bowl championships. I've seen 2 World Series championships. It can't get any better than that. So today, on behalf of the Jackson County administration, the Jackson County legislature, we want to congratulate the Chiefs on winning the Super Bowl. It has been said that it takes just a little bit more to be a champion. And the Chiefs, administration, the Hunt family, Andy Reid, his coaching staff, the players, but most of all, you fans gave us that little bit more, and the Chiefs were able to come in with a Super Bowl championship this year. So I just want to reach out to Chiefs Kingdom and say thank you for your support of the Chiefs, the Royals, all of our franchises, because our fans love our sports teams. Today, I want to proclaim a proclamation to the Chiefs on behalf of the administration, on behalf of our county legislature, by the powers vested in me by the Constitutional Homeroom Charter of Jackson County, Missouri. I, Frank White Jr., proclaim this day, February the 5th, 2020, as Kansas City Chiefs Day in Jackson County. So fans, the Chiefs are the champions. Thank you.
Our team was awesome because it had a great sense of timing. This next person has an awesome sense of timing when he became mayor of Kansas City, Missouri just a couple months ago. Now, somewhere out there is Sly James with a cool bow tie. And Sly, we appreciate all your work. But now, please welcome a young man who leads us into an unprecedented, in my opinion, next decade for our city. Please welcome the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, Quinton Lucas.
All right, y'all. First of all, let's get loud. Let's get loud. Let everybody hear what's going on. Let's get loud, Chiefs fans. Let's get loud. So we've got in Kansas City, we've got the greatest city in the world. Greatest city in the world. And now we have the greatest team in the world. Greatest team in the world. So I'm going to ask y'all 2 favors. Favor number 1. You may remember that Royals parade a few years back where they had the pictures of the sea of blue. We want a sea of red. So if you're wearing a black coat and you got a jersey on underneath, get your red out. Get your red out. And make sure that the helicopter behind us can see all of the red here in this red sea that is the Chiefs Kingdom. All right. So I'm going to count to 5, and at 5, pose for a picture with your red out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Kansas City. They are seeing how red we are. And now, you know, Mitch likes to say touchdown, Kansas City. Let's give Mitch another round of applause because the players are coming out, the owners. Let's get loud again, and let's go, Chiefs!
Thank you, Mayor Lucas. You know touchdowns in the Chiefs Kingdom are different than any of the other 31 teams in this league because we taste the sweet nectar of the end zone. Before we have the national anthem, just say it with me one time. When we get a touchdown, Let it belt it out that they will hear us from coast to coast and around the world on 3. 1, 2, 3. Touchdown, Kansas City! Ladies and gentlemen, with our national anthem, please welcome one of our own from the Chiefs Kingdom, Miss Simone Sparks.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
This is Super Bowl 54. Mahomes keeps it. He dives right side. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Garoppolo able to stay upright. Breland is there for Kansas City.
Mahomes stepping up. He's throwing long downfield for Tyreek Hill. Got it at the 20-yard line. They move to the right side. They throw back to the end zone. Touchdown, Travis Kelce. Chiefs have life. Throw right side. Caught by Williams at the right pylon. Touchdown, Kansas City. Andy Reid dials up a brilliant play. Garoppolo in the pocket. He's being hit. He's being wrapped up. It'll go as a sack. Frank the Shark Clark. Handoff. Damian Williams trying to get to the edge. Breaks a tackle. 35-30. Damian Williams runs to immortality and will be remembered forever in the Chiefs Kingdom. Here comes Suggs on the rush. They throw it deep middle, and the pass will be intercepted. It's intercepted. Kansas City, you've got a champion. Kendall Fuller seals the deal. The game is over, and the Chiefs Kingdom has firmly planted its flag on top of football's highest summit. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 54. And now, please welcome to the stage the best ownership family in all of professional sports. Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt and the Hunt family. It was within minutes, decisive moves by Clark Hunt in the first hours of the year 2013, where 7 teams were lined up to try to get Andy Reid. And in a matter of just hours, a decisive, calculated move changed history of the Chiefs Kingdom forever and changed history of the National Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, give a gigantic world champion Chiefs Kingdom cheer to the chairman and CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs, Clark Hunt, and the Lombardi Trophy.
All right, Chiefs Kingdom, how does it feel to be world champions? It's amazing to see all of Kansas City here this afternoon. That parade is something I will never forget. To share that joy together was one of the highlights of my life. At our first meeting as a team at training camp in St. Joe this year, I talked to the team about our goals. It started with going back to the AFC Championship game and winning that trophy that has my dad's name on it. And we brought it home. After that, I told them that we were going to Miami and we were going to win another Lombardi Trophy and bring it back to Kansas City. And guess what, Chiefs Kingdom? We brought it home. All year long, people spoke of the Chiefs as a team of destiny. 50 years after our first Super Bowl win, the 60th anniversary of the founding of the American Football League, the 100th season of the NFL. While that may be true, what set this group apart is how they came together as a team. These men believed in each other, they had each other's back, and most of all, they played for each other. That's the definition of a championship team, and in the end, they did prove that they were a team of destiny. I'm so glad that we have so many of our greats from the Super Bowl IV team here with us today to celebrate. 50 years ago, after the Chiefs defeated the Vikings, 13 of those players had to attend the AFL All-Star Game and did not have an opportunity to ride in the parade. 9 of those men are still with us, and all of them were invited to ride in the parade today. We're excited to have them here with us and to celebrate this new group of champions. Let's give the Super Bowl IV team a round of applause. None of this is possible with an outstanding team of people coming together for a common goal. As I said during our trophy presentation Sunday, our family is blessed to work with such a great team of people led by Mark Donovan, Brett Veach, and Andy Reid. A lot of people believe this journey started 7 years ago with the hiring of Andy Reid, but it really started before that, when Mark Donovan joined our organization. Mark has been the steady force that has helped make the Chiefs a model franchise in the National Football League. He was instrumental in bringing Andy Reid and in turn Brett Veach to Kansas City, and he has done a phenomenal job of preparing us for success. Let's give it up for Mark. Just as Mark has done an outstanding job on the business side, Brett Veach helped build a world championship team. He was the driving force in acquiring some of the big-time leaders and playmakers on our roster. Guys like Anthony Hitchens, Damian Williams, Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu, and some kid from East Texas named Patrick Mahomes. Let's give it up for Brett. The last part of the leadership team is the guy we call Big Red. Over the last 7 seasons, Andy Reid has made the Chiefs one of the best teams in football, and I can't say enough about him, both as a coach and, more importantly, as a person. He's a man of integrity, a tremendous teacher, a first-ballot Hall of Fame coach, and after Sunday, Big Red is a world champion. Let's give it up for Andy Reid. and D, and D, and D, and D, and D, and D. Finally, and most importantly, I want to close about talking about the best part of our team, the Chiefs Kingdom. It's been a long journey, too long if you ask me, but sometimes when the journey is hard, the destination is that much sweeter. Chiefs Kingdom was there through it all, rain or shine, in the heat, in the snow, it didn't matter. You always had our backs. It was so special to see the incredible joy and excitement throughout the kingdom all season, especially in the weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. Once we got to Miami, the Sea of Red took over. Chiefs Kingdom turned Hard Rock Stadium into Arrowhead South. It was an incredible environment and one that none of us will ever forget. So one time, right here, let's give it up for the Chiefs Kingdom. A few months before he passed away, my dad was asked to describe the best day of his life, and I want to read what he wrote. My best day was January 12th, 1970, the day after the Chiefs won Super Bowl IV. It specifically relates to the victory parade and celebration through the downtown area and on to Liberty Memorial in Kansas City. Thousands of fans had congregated to be part of the event. The Chiefs winning the game the day before was fun, but seeing the reactions of the fans was the icing on the cake for my best day. My dad loved the Chiefs Kingdom, and I'm honored that he shared his love with us. So Chiefs Kingdom, thank you for giving my dad and I some of the best days of our lives. We love you.
There had to be hope. The hope that lived in all of you, because Clark referenced it, Governor Parson referenced it, but somebody had to hold the rope and give us hope. At the end of 2012, we were at the bottom of the league. No AFC wins, 2-14. And our president said, hang in there, we're going to figure this out. And man, did we figure this out. He talked about preparing to win, and he said, we'll get this done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mark Donovan.
How we doing, Kingdom? All right, so let me first say thank you to our governor, to our mayor, to county executive, and especially the Sports Commission for their support all year long, but especially in making today a reality. Thank you for all the hard work, guys. I'd like to publicly, from this stage right now, recognize our chief staff. These men and women work 24/7, 365 days a year to deliver the best fan experience in sports. Thank you, guys. Our partners, many of you have been with us since the very beginning. Some of you joined us recently. Many of you joined us when we were 2-14 or 4-12. And in those days, you bought into a vision, and you helped us execute that vision. You guys are part of the family. Enjoy this. And when speaking of family, I I want to take a second to just thank the Hunt family. Consistently, they're referred to as the best ownership group in sports. And I would tell you this, they're special people. Their commitment to the kingdom, their commitment to our fans, their commitment to this city is unmatched. And I want to speak on behalf of all of us when I say thank you for the opportunity for every player, coach, and executive, and every fan to live a dream. Because today we live a dream. Thank you. I'm going to end with this. To Andy, to Brett, to Clark, I love you guys. We've been through a lot together. And we were talking this week and the week before about everything we had to do to get ready for Super Bowl. And I reckon back to 2013 when Andy and I sat in our office and we said, if the four of us just do our jobs, we can have a lasting impact on this community. We can change lives and make Kansas City a better place to live. Well, for the four of us, fellas, we did it.
Okay, we got to get fired up, people. We got to get this rolling. We got over 1 million people that watch this parade that are here today. We got to let the entire world know that its newest favorite team is the Super Bowl 54 champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go. Chiefs Kingdom, you're a champion. And one young man who has worked his butt off to make this happen was with Coach Reid in Philadelphia and came with Coach in 2013 in those first days of January. And he has done a phenomenal job of building our team, developing players that were here, drafting new players, and finding the right free agents. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for General Manager Brett Veach.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because let's be real, we all came out here to hear Travis Kelce's speech, right? That's why we're here. But real quick, I do want to say it's an honor and privilege to work for a resilient owner in Clark Hunt and the Hunt family, a resilient president in Mark Donovan. And how about this team? You want to talk about resilient, right? Down 24 against Houston, down 10 versus Tennessee, and down 10 in the Super Bowl. It was no big deal. But I will say this. Out of all the people who are resilient, the most resilient people are the Chiefs Kingdom, right? Waited 50 years for this, and you guys deserve it. Every year, every weekend, week out, you guys fill that stadium, and you guys give us the energy and drive we need to succeed. And the crazy thing is, you guys all came out here to celebrate us, but the reality of it is, we're out here to celebrate you guys, right? So thank you very much. Where's Andy? Where's Coach?
All right. Very shortly, I'm going to have the privilege to let you give a cheer for your world champions. But now, another big cheer as we clear the stage for two reasons. Please, again, acknowledge the terrific leadership we have from the Hunt family, who work very hard for all of you. And secondly, bring out the best cheer squad in the National Football League, your Kansas City Chiefs cheerleaders. And now, an unforgettable team. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you en masse the 60th team to represent our franchise, our second world champion, and the Super Bowl 54 champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Bring them up on stage. Bring them out. Bring them out. Give it up again, ladies and gentlemen. Let them know you appreciate them, our Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Fellas. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your world champion, Kansas City Chiefs. All right. We're going to back up just a little bit, fellas. We're going to back up just a little bit because you've wanted it, and now you're going to get it. Because those early days of January 2013, 7 teams wanted Andrew Walter Reed. And I'll never forget the call I got from Mark Donovan saying, he's coming. And I'm thinking, everything's going to change for the better. And that's when he told the folks coming with him, pack your bags, we're going to Kansas City, and we're going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for future Hall of Fame coach Andy Reid.
Hey, hey, Kansas City, baby. We love you. How about a hand for these guys right here, huh? Hey, let's give them a little bit of that. How about the Chiefs on 3-1? 2, 3. How about those Chiefs? Hey, hey. All right, so listen, we appreciate everything that you did for us. The support's been phenomenal. This parade is second to none, man. It's the best in the NFL right here. You should be proud of yourselves. So listen, one more thing is next year we're coming right back here. One more time, baby. One more time. All right, Mitch.
All right, you can start the chant for our next contributor. MVP, 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 MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, the MVP of Super Bowl 54, Patrick Mahomes.
Y'all gonna have to stay with me. My voice is already almost gone, and y'all know I don't have too much already. When I became the starter for Kansas City, the first thing I wanted to do was bring the Lamar Hunt Trophy back to Kansas City, back to this organization. And the second most important thing I wanted to do was get the Lombardi Trophy for the greatest coach of all time, Andy Reid, baby. This season, the adversity we deal with the injuries, I mean, my knee was in the side of my leg, but we still went back and we won the Super Bowl. We the champs, baby. Hey, credit to my teammates. We did this thing. And I'm going to leave the best for my boy Travis Kelce, who's going last. Love y'all. Thank you.
All right. Our next contributor helped turn our defense into the best defense in the NFL in the last half of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember the first day he got off the plane, and I said, the honey badger belongs here. Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger.
Hey, you know, I'm so happy to be here in Kansas City. You know, I'm so happy to share the stage with my teammates. You know, I truly feel like, you know, when I came to Kansas City, you know, each and every last one of these guys on the stage, you know, really gave me some hope, some encouragement, some confidence to really go out there, play fearless, you know, be who I am. You know, my coaches allowed me to be who I am, and so, you know, I can't really get none of the credit. I got to give credit to all my guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody in Kansas City. You know, I want to send a big shout out, you know, to all my coaches, Coach Spags, Coach Merritt, Coach Madison, Coach Daly, Coach House, Brendan Terry Braden, Connor, everybody, man. I appreciate all them boys. Thank y'all.
Our next contributor, hey, Philly, you don't even have the best Kelce. We got it. The best tight end in the National Football League. You ready for this? Travis Kelce. Can you dig it?
I just want to say I love y'all. I love this team. Woo! I'm wearing about half the beers I've been trying to drink, baby. It's been a long time coming, because what did we do? We had to fight for a right to party! I don't know if you see this belt, but man, this belt got something on it. It's got the heavyweight champions of the world, baby. the heavyweight champions of the world. That memorial up there, I see everybody up there in that memorial. Don't nobody know we represent and honor every single veteran that went to war for us in World War I. What's good? What's good right here in the heart of America? Right here in the heart of America. 21 years. How about that? I'm going to walk this walk. How about 21 years? Y'all know what that means? Everybody here is thinking, oh, that's when I can, you know what I mean, legally get a drink. Yeah. No, 21 years. That's how long it's just been turning for my guy Andy Reid. It's just been turning and turning and turning. And what we do, we unleash a can of whoop ass on everybody. 24-0. I ain't trying to hear it. Down 10. I ain't trying to hear it. Fourth quarter, 6 and whatever left on the clock. Down 10. We got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, baby. How about Sammy Watkins? Whoa! How about Damian Williams? Whoa! How about my dog 5'5" and he ain't offsides? Motherfucking Frank. What's good? This is the most beautiful scene I've ever witnessed in my life. I love this city to death. I promise you, from here to the end, I cherish every moment with y'all. And I promise you, everybody here feels the exact same way. I talked to El Presidente, Mark Donovan. He made sure it was okay with the Clark family, everybody involved. Because of this season, because of y'all. Every single touchdown, every single point we score at Arrowhead is going to end with the anthem. And y'all got to help me say it right here one last time for 2019, 2020 World Champions. You got to fight for your right to party. Believe it. I love y'all.
All right. We're going to make some room here, fellas. Back up. Back up. We're going to make some room, fellas. Because 3 things. Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs Kingdom, stay hungry. Chiefs Kingdom, stay humble. And Chiefs Kingdom, get ready to do this again real soon. One more contributor, and then for a real quick comment, the fastest player in the NFL, the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill.
Hey, let me talk real quick, man. I got one thing to say. Can't nobody guard nobody on this offense, man. Can't nobody guard nobody on this offense, man. I mean that, man. Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, man, thank y'all. Y'all been real special all freaking year, man. Y'all, hey, the amount of respect, man, the amount of love y'all give us, man, is tremendous, man, because that's what makes us go out there and ball out each and every day, man. Because guess what? Hey, y'all going and get y'all tickets because y'all going to be in the same spot next year, all right? All right? All right? Okay? Hey, so I don't want to hear, I can't get off work. I can't get out of school. I don't want to hear, oh, my boss talking like we can't get off. No, I don't want to hear that. Go ahead and plan for it because we grinding each and every day. We got the best running back. We got the MVP quarterback. We got Swagger Kelsey. We got the Honey Badger. We got Frank the Tank, Black Elvis. We got all of that. And most importantly, man, we got Andy Mother Freaking, man. Hey, that's all I gotta say, man. Hey, Cheetah out, man. I love y'all, man.
All right, back up, fellas. Back up, fellas, because we flip it right now. We celebrate this team, and we get ready for next year. A special person to beat the drum today. As we close the event, back up, fellas. Big Red, Andy Reid to beat the drum. Coach is on the drum. Thank you, Chiefs Kingdom. You are a champion.
You gotta fight for your right to party. You gotta fight for your right to party. Challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. Champions, no time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world, the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Oh, we are the champions. they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make 'em stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere, what they saying Luda's back. Blame it on that contour, the hood call it Luda Yak. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down, like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts, accountants count me in. Make millions every year, the South's champion. Cause all I do, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Put 'em up, Kansas City!
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make 'em stay there.
Swerving in my low, head on the swivel, you know serving me's a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my Rolls Royce. Yellow bone passenger, they see it, they say, oh boy. Tell Cali, back it up, my niggas call me loco. Down for armed trafficking, don't make me pull that fofo. Ask you what you laughing at, represent that mud life. Dirty money, bitch, you better get your mud right. We come together holding hands and holler hood life. We all strapping all black, it's like Bud Light. You riding or what? Cause we riding tonight. Now she riding with me cause you wasn't riding.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Put 'em up, Kansas City!
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there.
Give us a 1 minute. And welcome back to the after party, shall we call it, here at Union Station. John Holt, Abby Eden on her 10th hour of television, and Rob Collins. And guys, I don't know, that was everything we expected and then some. We talked earlier about who would be the Gomes of this crew, and I think we know Travis Kelce lived up to that.
Yes.
And more. But what a day in the Chiefs Kingdom, and we do want to thank all of our stations around the kingdom who've been with us. We will allow you to return to regular programs. Stay with us if you're watching in Kansas City. We have another half hour of coverage to come right here from the Chiefs Victory Rally. Stay there.
And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Put 'em up, Kansas City!
And they stay there, and they say